Stavati's been a ghost ship, 20 years of empty claims, with hangars full of garbage and dreams that never came. Now he's fishing for new suckers to store more junk inside, while promising his gullible fans hover cars and free energy rides.
We are working on anti-gravity. As soon as we get financed, which again is coming very soon.
Divine insights were handed down, but now they cost a fee. In the wacky world of Wilcock, that's the way it's gotta be. Financial resets, debts erased, a world so fair and bright. The alliance never came, and neither did his wife. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Extraterrestrial pals, they're coming here to stay. Disclosure's always just around, but aliens delay. Law of one, the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, all mixed up in one. David's stealing from the best, but his fans think it's a brand new one. Plagiarize and profit, that's his favorite routine. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense reigns supreme, we'll all get rainbow bodies, whatever that might mean. And Jesus is an alien, the wildest thing you've seen. David's on a hero's journey through dimensions far and wide. Draco reptilians know where he lives, so in his mansion he must hide. Catastrophes and end times were on the brink, he said, but my coffee's brewing nicely, and I'm still in my bed. The wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. It's the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. Just buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. No one's suffering like David in his mansion grand and tall, with bison, steak, and chicken. He's the loneliest of all. His teeth are fake as his prophecies and courses that he sells. In the wacky world of Wilcock, he's ringing all the bells.
If we bathe in our own urine, we can gain superpowers. Doing the bath does help. Or you urinate before you get into the bathtub, and then you drink new water out of a glass, and when you're in the bathtub, you can do a little more.
Buy my course, $300. Enlightenment's the deal. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where make-believe is real. His PowerPoint slides are packed with schizophrenic rants, forced to stream on YouTube now, bankruptcy's a stance. Stavati Aerospace, a Ponzi scheme they say, so pay pigs better pay up, or like Corey Good he'll stay. So many dates, so many dreams, none of them come true, but hey, don't fret, just buy the course and I'll enlighten you.
For God's sake, take the deal, okay? But you have to take the deal and you have to cooperate. Rise, rise, rise. And you feel yourself, kinetic energy of levitation, tingling across your skin.
In 2012, we'd all ascend, a cosmic shift was due. But here we are in 24, and nothing much is new. Mass arrests and cabal busts, beliefs should quake in fear, yet they're still here, sipping wine. And we're all stuck right here, in a world of greer and good, crush and loot. With their claims, nobody tops David Wilcock, with his fringe and wacky games, while they're sharing UFOs and theories kinda tame. David's got aliens who wanna sleep with him and eat him, what a shame. He's the master of the bizarre, with rainbow bodies on display. In the wacky world of Wilcock, where nonsense leads the way. So here's to Dave, the shyster bold, but they're so far-fetched and grand. In his world of make-believe, where fantasy's second-hand, he spins his fairy tales and lies between his YouTube streams for his cat crystal ladies who gobble up his dreams.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Today is a great day because I don't know, it's September 22nd, friends, and this is one of the hard dates that David Wilcock gave for when Ascension would come. And when you know it, so far, I don't have a rainbow light body. I don't have any superpowers, and none of the shit he promised his dumb as rocks followers has happened today. And it's not going to happen because David Wilcock is a con artist. He's not a spiritual guru. He's not in touch with angels. He's in touch with people's wallets, scamming them, pretending. And yes, Steve keeps on winning, says Pervacid. What a user ID, Pervacid. Whoa, that is correct. We are winning today and every day because Wilcock is a moron. And today we get to dance on the grave of another one of his Ascension predictions. Remember, first it was Ascension is coming before the year 2000. That didn't work out. Then it was Ascension is coming by December 26, 2012, and that didn't happen. So in his latest iteration of this scam, and let's be clear, this is a scam, and he's run this scam 3 times now. I call it the Ascension is coming soon scam. Ascension is coming, and you guys have to give me money because I know what's going to happen, and I know how to prepare you for this coming worldwide event called Ascension. So hurry up and give me $333 for my nonsense. And so in this latest iteration, this moron, it's even in the books that he sold for $333, saying that Ascension would be here by May of 2025. Well, that didn't happen. Then, good scammer that he is, you can't let a good scam go to waste. You just need more time to grift before the scam comes crashing down. So good scammer that he is, he moved the Ascension date. It's no longer May 2025 because May 2025 came and went. Oh, wouldn't you know it? No Ascension. So he moved it to September 22nd. And we have the proof that he said this. He's done this. And we're going to be sharing it all with you. And so basically, friends, David Wilcock has canceled this week's stream. And I believe, and I freely admit this is speculation, I believe that he canceled his stream because he's trying to figure out, what am I going to tell these morons that gave me all this money when September 22nd comes and goes and there is no Ascension, right? What is he going to say to them? He's going to have to come up with some kind of excuse, and I predict he's going to push this thing back to December, giving him all the time, more time to scam morons. And to those morons, did you know that it says in the books that he's selling that Ascension would come by May of 2025? That's in the first book of the series of so-called angel prophecies, right? It's absolutely ridiculous that this guy gets to just do this. And, you know, my question is, when December 31st, 2025 comes and goes, and we're sitting on January 1st, 2026, is Mr. Wilcock going to give the money back from all the people that he scammed? Is he going to admit, like, oh, I guess I wasn't talking to the Archangel Michael, because angels wouldn't lie to me and wouldn't humiliate me and make me look like a total dumbass in front of the entire internet, right? He's going to have to come up with some excuse, or he's going to do what he always does, which is to go away and pretend, yeah, I caused Ascension to fail, says Arlene. That's what he'll say. He'll come up with some reason, some excuse for why Ascension didn't come, and he'll keep everybody's money. You know, a real moral or ethical person, if they took all that money under false pretenses, they'd have to feel obligated to give the money back. But David Wilcock has been a scammer for decades of his life. He has no normal conscience like you or I, you know, and I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I think this dude is a psychopath or a sociopath, because both of those, you know, from a psychological standpoint, they don't have consciences. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care. And we've seen this time and time again. How many people did David Wilcock hurt or rip off or scam with the secret space scam stuff with Corey Good? Did he give any of that money back? Right? Steven stole Ascension from you. Yes, I astrally traveled and convinced Archangel Michael and the Almighty God himself to just wait on Ascension. That's what happened, right? And by the way, I forgot to put a goal in, so I'll go over and going on. I thought we were done with these kind of problems when we switched back here. That was a EV Mux kind of a problem, not a StreamYard problem. I apologize. So I think that David Wilcock is taking this week off to try to figure out how to keep going with the scam. Like, what's he going to do? He's got to figure out a way to keep collecting money from the morons. But even the dumbest of his morons are starting to go, wait a minute. First, you said Ascension was coming in May, and it didn't come, David Wilcock. Then you said Ascension was coming on September 22nd. And here we are. It's September 22nd. Unless I'm suddenly the fucking rapture is going to come for me in the next, I don't know, 5 hours. If the rapture does not come for me in the next 5 hours, I will have known what I've been saying all along is that David Wilcock is scamming everyone. Out of every dollar he's gotten for 2 years now, he's been saying, you got to prepare for the coming Ascension event. And the Archangel Michael is telling me that Ascension is coming and open extraterrestrial ET contact and mass arrest. It's all coming by May of 2025. I mean, September of 22nd of 20. Oh, shit. By December of 2025, right? Oh, yes, my friends. So I'm going to share my screen here because we have been doing this countdown. How many days until January 1st, 2026? Well, look at that. We're getting into the single digits here, David Wilcock. Tick-tock, motherfucker. Your grift is coming crashing, smashing down, just as I predicted it would. Tick-tock, David Wilcock. You've only got 100 days left to scam morons on the internet for your third time running the Ascension is coming soon scam. You scumbag. You dirtball. You people, you disgusting, dirty, rotten lowlife who takes advantage of hopeless and vulnerable people, telling them don't worry about anything because Ascension is coming and it'll solve all your problems and you'll get a rainbow light body, whatever the hell that means, and you'll get superpowers and we'll all become ascended masters and there'll be a new harmonious utopian world in which we're going to live. It's all false hope for retarded people. That's what he sells. All right, let's take a moment here. I have to set a goal here. I've already seen we got one here. So 20 super chats, teal or higher. We'll set it for 2 hours and we'll do older Wilcock videos. Well, we're doing an older Wilcock video already, but we'll do more older Wilcock videos. And let me take a moment to thank kind and generous benefactor. Tales of the Sonic Voyage is here with one for the goal. We're still going to count that one, even though I put the goal in after you did that, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. He's not a sociopath. He's just a very naughty boy. Well, I don't know about that, Garage, but thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Praise it, my friends. Thank you, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. Long-time show supporter. Grazi, he'll say that earthquake in San Francisco this morning was a sign from Michael that Charlie convinced God to wait till December. Well, that sounds like a good a story as any as he could use. You're giving him grift scam pointers and tips. Absolutely ridiculous that this man is allowed to go on the internet, lie to people, scam people, and there's never any consequences, which has led many people to believe that David Wilcock is some kind of government disinformation agent. Because if I went on the internet and just scammed people over and over and over again, I would end up in prison. So would you. Why is David Wilcock not in prison yet? I guess it's a gray area selling hope to the hopeless, right? And here we go. 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Charles McDonald gifted 5 Truth Seekers memberships. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Charles McDonald is a big show supporter. And this, my friends, is why you got to hit that subscribe button, because he's always gifting these free memberships. And if you're in the live chat and you're not a subscriber, you're not eligible to win these free memberships. But if you're in the live chat and you're a subscriber, but not yet a YouTube channel member here, and a kind and generous soul like Charles McDonald gifts these memberships, you could win one. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button, if for no other reason that you can get some free shit. Thanks to the kindness of Charles McDonald. He's given memberships to lots of you freeloaders. And by the way, after you enjoy all that extra goodies, all those members only videos, when you get a free membership, you get to enjoy all that. Please do consider paying it forward and continuing your membership after it expires, because Charles McDonald is footing the bill for a lot of you people, right? Thank you, Charles McDonald.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Charles McDonald is hearing the call of the goal and helping us to praise the cash. Ascension, 3rd time around, by award-winning bullshitter and author David Wilcock. Yes, Mr. Protractor. So listen, 100 days, David Wilcock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. You've only got 100 days left to scam your dumb as rocks audience that you're even going to sell rocks to. That's how dumb your audience is, right? So let's get some support, friends. And I have more to share with you, like this. This is awesome. Countdown to collapse. David Wilcock's Ascension. And really, we should fill this in, because he didn't just say December 2025. He said September 22nd, 2025. But in any case, David Wilcock's Ascension before 2000. Wrong. Didn't happen like you predicted, you moron, you liar, fake psychic, fake prophet bullshitter, right? Then he said it would come before December 26, 2012. That didn't happen. Then you said in the 3rd and latest iteration of your Ascension is coming soon scam, you said that Ascension would come by May of 2025. I got the best birthday present this year, because my birthday is on May 31st. And I sat watching the clock on May 31st on my birthday going, David Wilcock just screwed the pooch again. He just got caught scamming his audience, because he said it would come by May, and it's the end of May, and it didn't happen. And it's never going to happen. So, he said May of 2025, Ascension would be here. Then he said by September 22nd of 2020. No, didn't happen, David Wilcock. Even your morons are going to start noticing that you're a fake prophet and your predictions are all wrong, you lunatic. And of course, friends, we know he's going to move the coming Ascension to December of 2025 just to give himself, he's going to have 2 more months, 60 plus days in which to scam his audience out of more money before they all know. Everybody will know come January 1st, 2026, that David Wilcock scammed his audience again. He's painted himself into a real corner here, and this is going to be a problem for him. Starlight Warrior is here. You're on fire tonight, bro. Suffer, David Wilcock. That is correct. Let him suffer. Let him suffer. Absolutely. Thank you, Starlight Warrior, who's a big show supporter. Let's get some more super chats. I'll be checking in with the Kick Chat as well. But please, don't be throwing pennies and nickels and dimes and shit at me and making me feel like making me feel like a dejected, rejected stripper on a pole here. Don't throw pennies, throw subs, $5. or become a sub. That's $5. These kicks, I don't know. Unless you're sending me 8 million kicks, it's not really going to help if you throw me a kick. It's 1 cent, I believe. But thank you, Starlight Warrior.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Starlight Warrior. And just so you guys know, in the Kick Live chat, I can now see and share your comments on screen. So get chatting. Let's go, Kick. And let's go with the support. I will check in with the Kick chat right now just to see who's in there. Who's over there in the Kick chat? Is that the cool place to go now? Like the cooler audience members are over there? I think so. There's some cool people on Kick, but there's cool people on YouTube too. We have Stormcrow 84 is over there. Marcus Aurelius is over there. Pig Monster 220 Real. Unimportant Modulations. Adjective Noun is there as well. So welcome to the Kick Chatters, and I will check in with the Kick support. Just so everybody is aware, I read every super chat. I thank every person that sends support. And I read and thank every person who becomes a subscriber or whatever the case may be. So look at that. Yesterday, we had 2 people offering some support on Kick, and I wasn't even streaming. So thank you for that. We've got Midnight Streams became a subscriber. Thank you, Midnight Streams, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Big show support over there on Kick. Thank you, Midnight Streams.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
And also thanks to Super Money Fist, who became a subscriber yesterday. Again, even when I wasn't broadcasting, I'm getting support over there. So thank you, Kick viewers, very much. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash.
All right. Thank you, Super Money Fist. And let's get some more Kick support. I'll read those out sometime during the show. Adjective Noun is over there on the Kick chat. They've got cooler emojis over there too, I noticed. Keep your stick on the ice. Fuck Wilcox. Yes, I believe that I will. So, friends, Ascension, the countdown to collapse. We are watching history, because come January 1st, 2026, I will be able to once again say, I was right. David Wilcock scammed everybody. He wasn't talking to angels. He scammed you. And if you bought those books, go to your attorney general and tell him that you got scammed by David Wilcock and you want your money back. Will David Wilcock give refunds? Of course not. He has it on his website, strict no refunds policy. Yeah, because not long after people buy your garbage, they realize they got scammed, and most people, when they realize they got scammed, they want their money back, right? That's and so he's so dumb they needed a new word for dumb. I agree. Did he find any deal? I haven't had any ads yet. Well, that's weird. I think that the show is monetized. The monetization is on, I think. Yeah. Well, good for you then, I guess. Refunds with what money? Yeah, he's broke, and he's bald, and he's gay. He's definitely broke. He's definitely bald, and we know he's definitely gay because he said that vaginas make him sick to his stomach. Vaginas make him sick. He's allergic to vaginas, so he's gay. That's the only explanation I could come up with. All right, so what we're going to do tonight, what we're going to do tonight is first we're going to go through the proof that David Wilcock, his Ascension predictions keep going horribly wrong. And then we're going to display that David Wilcock has been talking about the same shit over and over and over again, because we have a video, which, by the way, is owned by Contact in the Desert. Don't you dare fucking copyright claim me for tonight's show. By the way, the last show we did, David Wilcock copyright claimed it. And he illegally said that I was using a video that I didn't use. He didn't even, he's putting in copyright claims. He doesn't even know what video I'm using in my video. This is harassment from a con artist and a scammer who is attempting to use the YouTube copyright claims system to steal money from me. Number one, it's bad. It's not bad. You know, like, come on, David Wilcock. Isn't it enough that you scam your audience? Now you got to scam small content creators like me, taking food out of my children's mouth, some spiritual guru, right? And I think we're up to I don't know, $72 in ad revenue, David Wilcock. It's being held. I have appealed each of these false copyright claims, and I want my $72, you prick. What gives you the right to steal money from me? And don't you think that there may be some consequences on your YouTube channel? And isn't that your only income? Can you really afford to get community guideline strikes? Or I don't know what they do when people keep filing false copyright claims, but YouTube is not going to let you keep filing these false copyright claims against me. I'm winning every appeal, and you're not even replying to the appeal. You're supposed to justify why I violated copyright, but he can't, so he's not replying to the appeals that I filed. And so that means I have to wait 30 days to get my money from that show that he's trying to steal from me. He's holding my money hostage. Don't let him, friends. Tonight, I believe that we could get $72. $72 to tell David Wilcock to suck a dick and stop stealing money from the Truth Seekers show host. I believe that we will get $72 from our lovely audience that wants to see these shows continue and know that David Wilcock is filing these false copyright claims just to try to stop me. He's trying to squeeze me out monetarily. He's trying to steal every dollar he can from me and make it unprofitable or make it too much hassle. I got to file paperwork every time I do a goddamn David Wilcock show. I got to write a legal letter defending my right to fair use and making transformative works and doing commentary. I got to file legal paperwork to stop this idiot from stealing money right out of my wallet. No. We will not allow this injustice. We will find $72 elsewhere. I believe it, my friends. We will find $72 elsewhere. And I will hold on. And I'll still get my money eventually, 30 or 60 days from now. I don't know. Echo is here with one for the goal. Deuteronomy 18:22. When a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord, if the thing doesn't happen, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken. The prophet is presumptuous. Do not fear him. Amen. Amen and hallelujah. That's called the test of the prophet, Echo. And Deuteronomy 18:22 is just one of the tenets of the test of a prophet. So if he gets even one thing wrong, he's not talking to angels. He's not talking to God's greatest angel. He's talking to a demon. If he's talking to anything, I think he's talking to his imaginary friends, Echo. But we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much, much appreciated. Big show support from Echo tonight. Let's get $72. Tell David Wilcock what he can do with his fake copyright claims, friends.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Echo. And we've got Sheila Rattler with another one for the goal. One for the goal, brokey bitches. Yeah, thank you. Show them how it's done, Sheila Rattler. Show them how it's done. I need that $72 back. We got to hit the goal, bitch.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Sheila Rattler, who's been a big show supporter recently. Thanks for appreciating us. We certainly appreciate you. And God bless all you people helping us to hit the goal. God bless the goal. God bless you and your family. May you have abundance. May you have all that you need and then some. May you have love in your heart and all you need to eat and all you need to drink and all that you need. I pray for abundance. For all the people who bless me, I bless you right back. God bless all of you and Legal Eagle as well. With one for the goal. Thank you, Legal Eagle, who's been a show supporter for a long, long time. And we appreciate that, Legal Eagle. Thank you.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Okay, we're going to see if we kind of caught up here. Oh, Flat House Media with one for the goal. as well. Thank you, Flat House Media, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Much, much appreciated. Praise the cash. Flat House Media. That's a cool name for a business. But Flat House? I don't know. It makes you go, I wonder what that's about, Flat House Media. But thank you for your kindness and your continued support. Much, much appreciated.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
That is correct. Praise it, Flat House Media. And Nemesis Bex, who's been a longtime show supporter, is here with one for the goal, 5 pounds. And she says, she's right. We can't let Wilcock win. This is towards the goal of the $72. Praise the cash, my friends. Praise it. Yes. Yes.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash.
Thank Ra Almighty, Nemesis Bex. And thank you, and God bless you and yours. I am very blessed. I will continue to be blessed, and I will offer everyone a prayer of blessings for all. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. Happy equinox. Yeah, but no ascension, right? All right, we're going to get into the, where the hell did I put it now? There's the contact in the desert. I got to find the spooky video. 1 second, friends. Let me, I'll just get it from Messenger here. And I'm doing a little better working this software, so hopefully things will continue to improve. Okay, I've got it. And one moment here. Let's share this tab. There we go. We got it. Almost. There we go. All right. And I want to thank Spooky, who, of course, found all the clips, and then we edited them together. So here we're going to see David Wilcock spectacularly fail in his predictions. By the way, I will put my fair use banner up because this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public, and we're critiquing the video that we are sharing. I'll be discussing it with my live chat. I'll be adding commentary to it. It's already a transformative work. We've got animated backgrounds. We've got commentary. I'll be sharing people's comments from the live chat. We'll be discussing the video. This tips everything in favor of fair use. This is fair use. Don't you copyright claim me again. I'm getting tired of filling out legal paperwork because of you, David Wilcock. And if you continue to do this, then I am writing a very strongly worded letter to YouTube, and I want them to take some action against your channel for these continued harassing false copyright claims that you know you have no right to file against my channel or me. You keep doing it, though, so I'm going to take some action. And wouldn't it be great if they take some action against David Wilcock's channel for these false copyright claims? I think he should get some sort of like a community guideline strike for each one that he filed, in which case he may lose his YouTube channel because there's more than 3. He's filed more than 3 frivolous fake copyright claims against me, holding my money hostage.
Now, here's the next thing. It says equinoxes 1 and 2. So the fall equinox is September 22nd.
So this is May 4th, before the May prediction of Ascension totally failed. But he still, he built in himself a backup to be able to say, well, if it doesn't happen in May, then it's going to happen on September 22nd.
2024. And I looked it up on Google just to make sure. So it sure as hell sounds like something big is going to be happening around September 22nd. That might be how long it takes.
Anything big
the arrest to have happened.
Oh, no
for us to get
arrest.
far enough down the road that
No
we
arrest
get to the big
today.
disclosure. So Michael gave us
No
a
big
very
disclosure.
compelling prophetic date here.
No, he didn't give it to us. He gave it to you,
There's
you
others
moron.
we've looked at possibly too, but right now, this week's time loop is focusing on Equinox 2. Equinox 1 we know is when the pyramid data came out. Equinox 2 is going to be the follow-up. So, wow.
Wow.
Let's hope
Yeah.
this comes true. I really would like to see
Let's hope
this.
it comes true, but it didn't.
Superior hands on deck, and remember, that sounds like a UFO, right? There's hands on deck, ETs in the UFO. Superior hands on deck are able to facilitate the transitions that have been made. Secret vital terms in knowing self, come from the innate understanding.
So this is all New Age word salad nonsense that he's using to somehow justify his prediction. And his prediction was that Ascension was coming by May of 2025. It never came. Then his prediction turned into, oh, well, it'll come on September 22nd then. I think this is why he took off this week, because he knew, what's he going to do? Sit there yesterday and say, yeah, guys, Ascension's still definitely coming tomorrow. No, he couldn't. He knew he couldn't. He knew that he screwed up giving a hard date again. And right now he's frantic, besides watching my show, figuring out how he's going to defend himself from the one person who's been telling people the truth this entire time he's been scamming them, right? What are you going to do, Wilcock, when more of your followers find me and they realize that I'm telling them the truth, that you're scamming them and you've been scamming them? What are you going to do, Wilcock? Tick-tock.
Understandings of divinity and selfhood. So I believe, again, this is prophetic of the Alliance guiding us through the theater of arrests and disclosure.
Anybody notice a theater of mass arrests or ET, open extraterrestrial contact today? Did anybody ascend in the rapture or anything? No? Oh, okay. Well, it looks like David Wilcock was wrong and scammed his audience again. And I was right in saying that he was scamming the audience and Ascension would never come as he predicted.
And then he says, the stage is now set. And he made me capitalize the first word.
The stage is
set,
behooves you,
friends. Take time to apply yourself.
Behooves you? I don't know, angels, you use words like behooves.
This process. You are doing very well, and we commend you on that. So the stage is now...
It's so nice when your imaginary friends tell you how great you're doing, right? What a loser.
Being set means they are going to come back. There is going to be an ascension. There is going to be a revealing of these ETs. Christ
all
is
on
returning.
September 22nd.
Very exciting.
And Christ,
I mean,
did anybody meet Jesus today? Did Jesus knock on your door and say, hi, I just want to let you know I'm Jesus and I'm back? None of this shit happened. Oh, because he's a false fake prophet and a fake psychic.
Overwhelming too. Taffy Royal just donated. Do these time loops mean everything cycles over again and again? What's talked about 20 years ago is happening again. It's partly like that, yeah. But, you know, it's also the end of the 25,000-year cycle. And this is when we get the Galactic Family Reunion. So again, the fall...
Did anybody get a Galactic Family Reunion? Here's June 1st, where he's saying Ascension is coming on September 22nd. Remember, friends, today is September 22nd. So unless Jesus comes back, we see mass arrests, and everybody gets Ascended Master superpowers, in the next 5 hours, we will know that David Wilcock was wrong again and scamming his audience.
Equinox is September 22nd. So if we had an event as big as the pyramid tunnels happen on the first equinox, that would imply that the second equinox is going to have an even bigger event, somehow involving extraterrestrials. Do I know what it is? No. But the point is...
Anybody meet any aliens today? He said that September 22nd, there's going to be a big event involving aliens, extraterrestrials. I didn't see no aliens today. David Wilcock, I didn't see no aliens.
David, don't break your neck swinging around so fast when you get a super chat. That's really funny. Janet Lee Warwisniak says, how many ascensions are there? As far as I understand it, there's going to be one ascension first, which is the first wave. It's non-catastrophic. Some people are going to turn into light beings. Other people are not. It's going to be determined on
turn into a
how loving
being
you've
today?
been, how much you followed the principles of Christ. You can be as satanic as you want. It's not going to do you any good when this happens. It's not going to make you more powerful. This is going to only affect the meek. The meek shall inherit the earth. Sorry, it's true. You know, some people don't like that. They think, oh, we're the elite. We're the only ones that are going to ascend. That no. We're in a global non-catastrophic ascension. Michael makes that point very clear this week in the time loop.
Oh, definitely coming by September 22nd.
So again, equinoxes 1 and 2 illustrate the theater thing is coming into full bloom. Superior hands on deck facilitate transitions that have been made. Secret vital terms in knowing the self, coming from innate understandings of divinity and selfhood.
Word salad nonsense.
So again, why does he say theater? Well, it's like a theatrical, it's like a movie, right? That's what the Alliance said. Grab your popcorn, enjoy the show. It is going to be like a movie. So the entire theater thing is coming into full bloom. Well, that would imply that the Alliance's efforts will have led to very big events by the end of September of this year. And I think that's true.
Oh, now it's the end
by
of
the end
September.
of September of this year. And I think that's true.
Get him
By
spooky
the
with
end
the
of
edit.
September
Oh,
of this
Spooky's
year. And
edits
I
are
think that's true.
wonderful.
So again, we're all kind of waiting for them to release information. We've been hearing about these arrests. We're like, when are you guys going to do it? It's been very frustrating. It's frustrating for me too, because
Yeah.
I don't really
No
know what's
mass
going to
arrest.
happen. You guys think I know? I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to read.
Well, I thought you're saying Ascension's coming.
What are your thoughts on Rapture on September 23rd, David? I don't think it's going to happen that fast. It would be great if it did, but you know, probably not would be my guess. I haven't heard anything quite like that. So
After saying it's coming on September 22nd, and
Anyway.
he says, I haven't heard anything like
fall
that.
equinox.
He's forgetting
Yeah,
his
the
own
August
lies.
28th thing, I think, has really springboarded this new heightening of energy that's led to insomnia
Word salad
and much greater
nonsense,
intensity.
vague,
And
general
I noticed that everybody seems to be going
observations
through their
that he
own
thinks
dark
are
night of the soul
prophetic.
lately. This seems to be a very
Yeah,
common
fix what's left of your
thing.
hair, Baldy.
It was also extremely personal for me. The exact timeline around August 28th had a lot of personal significance. So,
That's when he was getting
you know,
butt
I'm
banged
just
by
trying to
the cloud
read
bag.
what Michael says.
Yeah.
I don't always know
August.
what the answers are. I'm just trying to
Oh, poor David Wilcock. So there are multiple times now where Mr. Wilcock has falsely predicted Ascension is coming. And when we get a chance, we'll find all of the times that he said it was coming in May, and we'll put that on the front of this. Then we'll have, you know, an on the record from him claiming that Ascension was coming in May, and then claiming Ascension was coming today, September 22nd. But we will wait to punch the card. Remember, we have the card. 1 second here. We have the we have the card in which Mr. Wilcock made these predictions. So we'll wait until the end of September. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If Ascension doesn't come today, we'll wait until September 30th to mark that 2025 September red, meaning we were right. He's wrong once again. Troll with one for the goal. A big time show supporter for many, many years. And thank you, Troll for that. DSP teased a bit of lure, but would only reveal it if his dents coughed up $75 to hit the goal. Turned out he fixed all 3 of his toilets all by himself. I don't believe it. I don't believe that he fixed the toilets. I do not believe it.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Troll. God bless you. I appreciate it. Manila Toaster with another one for the goal. Praise the cash. Every dollar is like a soldier in the fight for truth, justice, and common sense. Well, that is correct, sir. And we thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Praise it, friends. And would you look at that? Wow. I'm continually blown away by the kindness and generosity of Charles McDonald. 50, a big $50 Canadian. And he says, money slap. This is how you make nerds mad. Oh, I totally thank you. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and support. Charles McDonald is dropping dono bombs up in this bitch. He already dropped 5 free memberships for you brokies, right? He's helping the brokies survive and still get the member benefits. And now he's dropped a kind and generous $50 Canadian. Very, very kind of you, Charles McDonald. Praise the cat, bitches. We're getting our $72 back from the $72 that David Wilcock's trying to steal from me. My audience will give it to me, David Wilcock, and we'll keep going. We'll keep felting you, and we'll keep showing the world that you are a false prophet and a con artist and a scammer. Praise the cash, Charles McDonald.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Charles McDonald. And Sheila Radler has gifted a membership. So thank you for that. That's another free membership for one of you brokies. And remember, you have to be a subscriber to win these free memberships. There's been 6 free memberships given away to random people in the chat who are subscribers, but not yet channel members. But you must be a subscriber. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. You could win a free membership. Thank you, Sheila Radler.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Sheila Radler. And C. Marius. I always have trouble saying that sometimes. I bet he's running into problems selling his house in New York due to transferring the title and owing the IRS. Yes, for those unaware, he's trying to hide the money from the sale of the home so that the IRS just look, if you owe $1.5 million to the IRS and you suddenly come into possession of $250,000 cash, they take it. They take it. So David Wilcock is immorally, unethically, and I'm not a tax attorney, but I think illegally trying to hide money from the IRS. So Chris Damaris is right. He may be running into problems selling his house in New York. He transferred the title to a shell corporation to hide it, I believe, to hide it from the IRS.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Steve Damaris, and God bless you. And Legal Eagle with another one for the goal. David Wilcock hasn't copyright claimed hips, I guess because he only has one hater. Yeah, he hasn't copyright claimed Hidden in Plain Sight. I had to think for a second. I'm like, what's hips? Yeah, he hasn't copyright claimed them. Why is that? Why is he only copyright claiming me, Legal Eagle? But thank you for your kindness. God bless the goal. God bless you and all of you kind and generous benefactors.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
All right, and we've got Face to the Screen with one for the goal. He can't even look into the camera and lie with a straight face anymore. He looks like he knows he's toast. For the goal, praise the cash. Yes, praise it, my friends. We will praise that cash. And we thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
It's not just me. Ra commands you, Face to the Screen. You've got to praise the cash for me. Bobby Broadway with $2. It doesn't meet the goal standard, but we'll take it. Bobby Broadway saying, I'm a poor. You know, I used to like Tom Segura until he started talking about the poors and all that stuff. I really don't like that. I don't like his attitude. Like, he's making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And he forgot that he came from, you know, a working class poor family. And he calls people that work for a living the poors. It's really not a good look for him. But thank you, Bobby Broadway. I don't care if you're a poor.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash.
Yes, his comedy show is pretty funny. We'll have to forgive him, right? But thank you, Bobby, for your kindness and generosity. So now we're going to go to this older video of David Wilcock, which is 1 second here. Where do we go? How did I miss? Okay, I got it. 1 second. We'll share that tab. All right, friends, we're going to get into this. This is Contact in the Desert 2017. And one of the reasons I decided to run this, besides the fact that Wilcock is so lazy that you can't expect him to actually work 1 day a week, he's basically had 3 weeks off in the last month. 3 weeks of vacation while he's crying about how broke he is. And meanwhile, he can get thousands of dollars every time he does one of those streams. I don't know about you, but I'd be broadcasting every day. I'd be sucking those morons dry for every dollar I could get if I was David Will. I'd be reading fucking books or something. Like, oh, I'll just read you this book I found. Whatever. Just stay on screen and get the money, David Wilcock. But Wilcock is so lazy. You can't expect him to work a whole 1 day a week, friends. That's just too much to ask for. So he's taking 3 weeks off. The other reason I decided to run this is because I know for a fact that David Wilcock does not own the copyright to this video. But don't worry, he still can file false copyright claims for those other clips that we just played under fair use. I'm going to renew my verbal citation that this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public and critiquing the video we're sharing. This is covered under fair use and is allowable by law. And also, I'll be sharing on-screen comments as we go through this. I'll be discussing it with my audience, offering commentary and critique, and using this video to educate the public on what a scammer David Wilcock is. Let's go, friends. And he's introduced by none other than his one-time partner in crime or slime, Jimmy Church, who's a scumbag who has platformed and helped promote and amplify multiple people who are totally con artist scammers. Sarah Adams, he put on his show, Corey Good, Emery Smith, David Wilcock. Jimmy Church has never met a scammer that was too scammy for him. As long as Jimmy Church can get a couple of bucks out of their scam, he's right there to help them. And it's despicable. Jimmy Church is a slime ball and a scumbag.
The cabal, breaking the cabals. I said it. And the alliance and disclosure, I want to bring to the stage one more time. You guys get ready.
Yes, Jimmy
My
needs
friend,
church.
David Wilcock, give it up.
I didn't know what story that was going to be. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. We didn't get into the after party from last year's Contact in the Desert. We didn't get into the New Year's Eve thing that happened. You kept all that under the rug. I appreciate that. So I got quite the awesome talk for you guys today. I only have an hour and a half, but I intend to make it a maximum value.
Maximum value of bullshit, yes.
This subject of contacts, this subject of UFOs, obviously this is a UFO conference. What I try to bring to the table for you is not the same presentation that you're going to hear year after year with just subtle tweaks and modifications. I try to always push the envelope forward.
Push the envelope, yeah.
And I see this whole thing as more than just entertainment. I see this as a political initiative, because what we're doing here is not fake news. And what has happened is that there has been something going on.
I'm going to check if Wilcock filed a claim yet.
Where people who did not get in back when it was not YouTube, they have their whole livelihood from making YouTube videos. And there's some very popular channels like Secure Team 10 and Third Phase of the Moon.
Yeah, and they are garbage. Those are the two biggest UFO garbage channels. So it's interesting that David Wilcock would mention them, right? Like as if they're good sources of information. And if you're interested, I've never done a documentary on Tyler and Secure Team 10's fake UFO hoax videos, but we did do 2 free documentaries. Go to our main channel, scroll all the way down. There's a free documentary section. There's 2 entire documentaries just destroying Third Phase of Moon for all their fakery, fraudery, and bullshittery.
And these guys were out there selling YouTube videos, and that's how they made their money. And then along comes the 2016 presidential election, and we have a situation where the WikiLeaks disclosures lead to this whole Pizzagate thing.
Which was bullshit.
We got to try to get that volume down. It's distracting. So this Pizzagate subject got very, very close to the bone for the elite, because look, everything that stuff had said, I already had written about in the book Financial Tyranny.
There was no proof of Pizzagate. It was a literal made-up fake conspiracy. Yeah, they were doing some weird shit. I think they did drag shows in the basement of that pizza place, but there was no evidence of child trafficking or anything like that. Somebody actually went in there with a gun. It's a whole big nightmare. And it's because of people like David Wilcock that nut jobs get a gun and go in. They think they're going to help the children that are getting, abused and AR'd and whatever. It's ridiculous. And here he is talking about it like it's all real because he's a fucking moron.
Back in late 2011, early 2012, I had a whole chapter on this stuff in the book about how, for example, the Hollywood movie industry is using techniques that were perfected by the CIA on their actors.
Yeah, it is part of the time
MK
loop.
Ultra mind control or monarch mind control.
It's part of the loop of bull.
We've talked about how there are actual pieces of propaganda that appear in mainstream entertainment, and this includes music videos, films, even things like the Grammy Awards and the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, he's definitely bald.
In which we are seeing blatant Luciferian symbolism shown to us. And I am not a Bible banger, okay? I'm not trying trying to say that you have.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that dark or satanic or Luciferian or, evil sort of demonic imagery has been used in music, entertainment, and everything for literally thousands of years. You can go back to ancient Rome and see that they would dress, theater actors as Pan with horns and, goat feet, and they would use that imagery to sell the entertainment. So this is nothing new. Important to note that David is never coming back to Contact in the Desert. He says it's because he exposed Tom DeLonge. It's actually because he is insane and begged. He begged to go back to Contact. No Contact in the Desert for you, dickhead. Yes. Good. Good. He can't even get the terms right, says Sam Corbin. Yeah. If you all haven't seen Steven's Jimmy Church mask, check out that link I shared. Yeah, Jimmy needs church. Absolutely. He definitely needs church. So far, Q-tard conspiracy nonsense so far.
Have to be saved by the blood of the Lamb or any of this kind of stuff. But what I am saying is, you might not take this seriously, but they do. They're very serious about their religion. And they are completely against anyone who believes in God, whatever you choose that word to mean. This is why they hate Jews. This is why they hate Muslims. And this is why they hate Christians. Look at how each of these groups has been demonized
if you say
by
so,
various
James
factions
B.
of the cabal, whether it's the Nazis or whether it's the Americans.
Wilcock claims to have exposed Tom DeLonge.
That basically means war against Muslims.
Yeah, who was a UFO guy besides being Blink 182.
And then you see
moron.
These incredible efforts being made to marginalize Christianity.
Don't
and
look
I've
away
always
from the
said
forehead.
this. Why do
Yes.
they care? Church attendance is down to like 11% in America.
Yes, can we hit the goal
It's
for
even lower
overtime?
than that in Europe.
We got
Nobody's
more vintage
going.
David lined up.
So this old world paradigm of where we literally had 38,830 denominations of Christianity.
I'll give him one thing. He doesn't have any notes, and he's just doing this basically. And listen, for those unaware, if you're a major speaker at Contact in the Desert, I think you're going to make like $10,000 to $20,000 just to give a talk for an hour and a half. And he appears to be just doing this off the cuff, like no notes, no slides, just like, oh, I'm just going to bullshit for 90 minutes.
I'm not kidding. That was officially
real value for the money they paid him here.
Documented study. 10,000 other religions or factions of religions, but
oh no, there's the slides.
38,830
Sorry.
versions of Christianity. And of that number, at least a certain percentage of them, probably a high percentage, thinks that their way is the only way.
Worships his money and lies. Yeah.
So
Keep
do
the
I
church out of your
disagree with
filthy
the cabal
mouth,
saying
Wilcock.
that we need to move beyond religion? Not necessarily. I don't think it's cool
Yeah,
that
you're
there's
right, Bob.
38,000 denominations
I could
of
live off
Christianity
that
all
for a
fighting
year,
each
but
other.
I live cheap and simple. So,
And when we create religion, we're basically
it's easy if he
getting
doesn't care to
secondhand
get his
information.
facts correct. Exactly.
And
He
yet
can
there
just
are
make up shit
certain
on the fly.
spiritual traditions in which you get experiential knowingness
He is good at talking.
of what's
I
really
guess.
going on.
Talking
You
about
get
gift
direct
of the
knowledge.
gab.
And that direct knowledge is not something you can ignore. If you have a near-death experience, you know that there is life after
super
death. You know that there is
Thank you for your
a
kindness,
greater place that we're
generosity,
going,
and
and that there
support
is some higher initiative behind
the
being
show.
human.
That's weird. Super stickers they're in the chat, but they're not really showing up. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. I'll have to make sure I pay attention so we don't miss any of the super stickers. We call those out too. Thank you. Kiss my
Praise the
raven.
cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
FF9000 says, come on, I sent you 11 kicks. Acknowledge my pennies. All right, well, thank you for your pennies there. That really, 11 cents is really going to make a huge difference in my week this week, right? And but we want to thank Super Money Fist, who gifted a subscription. Thank you, Super Money Fist over on Kick, who gifted a subscription. And I always say I love the Kick support because if you guys step up and support, it's like I get an extra paycheck every month, and I really need the money. I really, really do.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
And that's for your 11 cents too. We've got Super Money Fist gave me a whole $5, and then FF9000 came in with 11 cents. And I don't even know where to see where do I see the, I don't know where the kicks are. Acknowledge my pennies. Yeah. I don't know how to see the kicks. I don't know. I don't know where the kick. Oh, FF9000 sent 1 kick and then 10 kicks. And Super Money Fist just gifted 1 sub to Diaper Fur 1488. And Super Money Fist resubscribed, and Midnight Streams resubscribed yesterday. So thank you all for your kindness. Much, much appreciated. Kick dollars is the best dollars because I keep most of it. Praise the cash, kick people.
Than just trying to make the best impression that you can while you're here and then dying and disappearing into an eternal black nothingness. It was really strange because both my grandparents were Presbyterians.
50 kicks got
and they went to
cool
church.
Skull. Well, that's interesting.
Sometimes, you know, the typical holiday visits.
50 whole cents. Are we up to 61 cents?
When they got close
me?
to their death,
keep going. I might be able to buy like a fucking
anything else was going to happen.
pretzel or a
So
candy bar.
Strange for me because as a star child, you know, as this ET soul.
Oh, he's a star child now.
It never even was a question that there was life after death. When I was 5 years old, I floated out of my own body. And I'm watching myself sleep in bed, and my body is breathing, and I'm still alive. But yet, if that's me down there, then who the hell am I watching this? And that made me realize, okay, well, if I got
out of his body when he was 5, this is new to me.
Hi, I'm just going to go into this other form that's really cool because I can fly and I can do all kinds of neat stuff, and everything seems all right.
Yeah, he's talking about this is in the land of make-believe. Yeah, I guess you can fly in the land of make-believe there, Wilcock.
I was fortunate in that sense to always know that there's something more. So what we're seeing is, ultimately, a spiritual battle taking place here on Earth, a battle that most people do not understand. And if you fail to grasp that fundamental truth, then the seeds that are being planted in your mind and heart at this event will probably never grow into anything substantial.
Okay.
The spiritual battle for me is the key.
Just
this whole
nothing
thing.
but word salad, right?
And again, I'm not going to pump the Bible because all the
His
other
land
texts
is wasted
basically
on him.
predict
You
the
are
same
correct,
situation. I talked about this last night.
Meanwhile,
I
have 8 acres.
Talked about it again
I
on Monday,
use every
post-conference event.
Or I will.
The only other thing I have left after this is the panel.
I forgot. If we hit the goal tonight too, I'll show the latest cabin update pictures. I had an epiphany while I was working on the cabin, and that is that I always build log walls, and then where the wood stove goes, I cover the interior log walls with stone because it's much safer to run you don't want to run a wood stove right next to wood logs. So then I realized, wait a minute, why do I do that? Because you're wasting a lot of time with the log fill. I should just build one wall, just stone. So that's what I'm doing. And I got an interesting visit from one of my neighbors. And now I know why there's so many bears, because my nearby neighbor, I did not know, is like, I don't know, he's like a bear guy. They hang out. The bears come and sit on his porch with him. Like, I'm not kidding you. Big black bears just come and sit on his porch. And I don't know if he feeds them or what he does, but every time I drive by his yard, there's bears in his yard. And he sent me a bunch of pictures of him just hanging out with bears. So mystery solved. I was like, there's got to be a reason why there's so many bears here. And 3 miles away at my cabin, maybe I'll see 2-3 bears all year. And they just are walking through. But over there, and Saturday, I was pulling that wagon back, and I turned from one trail into the other trail. It's like a 90-degree turn. And I'm pulling the wagon, going back to my car, and all of a sudden I jumped because about 20, 25 feet in front of me was one of the biggest male, I think he was a male, black bears, bucks I've ever seen. Was just sitting in the middle of the trail, just looking at me. And I just got silent, and I didn't know whether I should turn around and try to go the other way. He looked at me like he wanted to eat me. And then he's giving them all the diapers. Yeah, we talked about how the bears love eating diapers. That's gross. They go in the dumpster and they rip all the trash bags open and they eat all the dirty diapers. That is gross. But the bear looked at me funny, and then he just turned and walked into the woods, walked right into my property on the side of the trail. And I waited there a good 5 minutes until I could see that he was a good enough distance away from me. And then my ass ran, pulling that wagon down the trail to my car. And I never threw that wagon in my car so fast and got in my car and locked it. Where's the crickets? I think we might have taken care of that. I used better living through chemistry, right? My voice startled him. I didn't say anything to him. I just stood there silent. And, most of the time they don't want any trouble. And when they see people, they will walk away. But you never know. Sometimes you're going to get a bear that's acting a fool, or a bear that's aggressive, or maybe he's sick or agitated in some way, right? Yeah, he's making the bears comfortable with people. That's dangerous. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Don't turn your back on them. No, I never would. In fact, I'm getting a special gun just for bears. I've got bear spray, like pepper spray, bear repellent. And I actually hear that the bear spray works better than shooting them. And I don't really want to kill a bear, so I'm going to try that. If I really ever need to, I'll try the bear spray first. But I want to be packing there just in case, because you don't know. You don't know. Like, one of these bears could really, charge me or try to attack me, or maybe they're territorial and they don't want me there. I don't know.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m., we're going to get into disclosure on that as well, in Ancient Civilizations. And it's going to be here. What I'm saying to you now is...
I have no idea what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm saying to you.
You have to look behind the alarmist headlines, and you have to understand that if these people...
Yeah, that is a little scary.
If these
25 feet from me
elites that have controlled 80% of all the money there is to earn in the world, that was proven by Dr. James Glatfelder, a guy who is...
I love how he uses a 25-year-old picture of himself.
Swiss,
that picture's from like 1992.
FIT.
He uses it all the time.
And they specialize in teaching people about the financial system. Einstein...
You're right. The one time I did get charged by a bear, it was a mama.
He used supercomputers and cracked the
40,000
plus transnational corporations
went up on her hind
in a
legs and
database
charged
called
me.
Orbis.
And I ran in the cabin like a bitch.
The conclusion that comes out of that is that once you get below the surface and you start to use supercomputers and fuzzy logic to crack those codes, deep down inside, 3 or 4 levels below what's obvious, everybody's got the same people on the boards of directors. All these corporations are actually interconnected. And you only have a super entity, as they called it, of 147 corporations.
Yeah, don't mess with the mamas.
That's it.
I agree.
147. And those 147 are earning 80% of all the money
That's
in the
a great
world.
quote, Richard Warner. I remember that
is
quote.
Staggering.
Yeah.
That goes way beyond the idea of, well, I wonder if the government controls the media.
He was bald in high school.
It has more to do with what do we see when Glatfelder and his associates published the top 50 names
I don't know about that.
of those 147 corporations. What do you think are in those corporation names? About 2/3 of them
now he's connecting
are
dots
financial institutions.
Really there. Me and my
and
shadow.
in the top 50 are
David
listed
Wilcock.
all of the so-called too big to fail banks, which in the aftermath of the 2008 financial collapse,
we don't have brown
of the
bears
Obama
there.
administration,
We only have black bears.
a total of what now has been calculated by U.S. senators, including Ron Paul,
Before he melted his brain with
$29 trillion of money that they printed out of thin air.
Well, that's
to bail out the sinking ship of these too big to fail banks. $29 trillion.
Yeah.
Try to give you a
He didn't
sense
even
of
have
what
to
that
sell
means.
rocks out of his yard to get people there.
All the money
Yeah.
that is being earned in the entire world is called the gross domestic product. If you use it as a world GDP, gross domestic product.
Yep. Classic grifter.
That's
Point to
half
actual
of
problems.
the
Now let's
entire
talk
wealth
about
of the
Ascension
world.
and giving me super chats.
Printed
You
out
are
of nothing,
correct.
with no
Rip
collateral,
the
with
jacker.
no backing. When they screwed up and their
Wild
businesses
White Fool
tanked,
says, I can't believe
they
he's
weren't
not
making
lying.
any money,
Yeah, me neither.
and instead of going bankrupt, they stole half of the wealth of the entire world to bail this thing out.
This guy talking about people stealing is rich, right?
This happened in 2008
He
after the
wants that
financial
cash.
collapse. It's probably one of the reasons why John McCain
Dab
lost,
of
because he
truth with
said
all
the
the
fundamentals
lies.
of the economy are sound.
Makes him go down smooth. You're
Well,
correct.
dude, I think you're
Yeah.
wrong. Now,
Yeah,
why did
they
that
always
happen?
mix in a
Why
little
did they
bit of
lose
truth.
out so
It
much?
makes the lies go
Why did
down
they
easier. I agree with that
have
100%.
this
That's
apocalyptic
classic grifter
collapse of their
style.
value, such that they had to do something
Yes, he's wearing
so
two
big
button-down shirts at once.
that
Yes.
probably nobody would have ever believed that you would print $29 trillion
It
out
looks
of
like
thin
he
air.
got dressed by a blind woman.
Why did they do
right?
that? Why did that happen? There is a simple
He's
intrinsic
got his
fact
hand in his pocket,
that
scratching
I
his
want to
scrotums.
share with you now. And that fact is
He's
this.
scratching his balls, man. Sometimes you got to scratch your balls.
Some of the people that you would hear at
let's praise
conferences
the
like
cash.
this,
Let's
and I
hit the
don't know if there's
gold,
any
friends.
of them here or not. I'm not
We're at 12
insinuating
of
that
20.
anybody
We
is
need
like this
8
here.
more.
But
8
sometimes when you listen to people who are more in the
8
so-called
more.
conspiracy
We'll hit
theory
the
arena,
gold. Don't you want to hit the gold,
there is a
man?
prevailing viewpoint that I believe,
Super
based
chats of
on
5 or
extensive
more.
research
We
and
need
firsthand testimony
8
with
more.
insiders, I believe is wrong.
The blind woman also happens to
It
be
is
his
this
mother.
idea
It wouldn't surprise me if his
that
mother
the
bought his
so-called
clothes for him.
Illuminati, New World Order, cabal, whatever nomenclature you want to pick,
But listen, I will say this. I have not bought any clothes since I got married. Right? Yeah, send more kicks. Yeah, that's not going to get us to the goal, man. Don't be throwing, let it rain pennies. Well, if everybody sent, 2,000 kicks, right? Then that would be $20. So, oh, look, Mr. Protractor says 100 days left, David, and you did 100 episodes of Ancient Aliens. The synchronicity. Yes. So we need 8 more super chats. FF9000 is up to sending me $1.62. All right, thank you. I might be able to buy like a coffee and a candy bar or something. Do you know? I had to go to Starbucks for like my son had art for some reason. I don't know. His school put all their artwork in a Starbucks, and we all went there. I can't believe the prices of Starbucks and that people pay that. $8 for a large drink, and I can't even remember, but I got some kind of tea. I just remember it was tea. $8 for tea. And I remember thinking, as cheap as I am, I remember thinking I could buy like 4 boxes of 150 tea bags for that $8, right? And just make my tea at home. That's what I usually do. Yes, Starbucks is insane. I get green tea mocha, and it's $8 to $10. Well, once in a while, I'm okay with splurging. It was a special occasion for my son, and they had free lemonade and cookies and stuff out for the kids. So I got my $8 worth just in fun and seeing my son's artwork. He was so proud. Like, that's the first time he's ever done artwork that got, like displayed somewhere. And he felt like this was a big, important thing. Yeah, let's continue with the cavalcade of bullshittery here.
is this all-encompassing?
Listen here, we're going to do half of this, which would be, like 45 minutes of it. And then maybe we'll do a part 2, but I still want to do the part 2 of Corey Good. So we're going to have a busy week this week. And I have some new shows planned and plotted, but they're coming together slowly.
All-powerful, all-seeing eye that has their fingers in everybody's phone, that is surveilling everyone, that is identifying any potential threat.
This is the fear porn. These scripters always push the fear, but they have the solution for you, and they have all the answers after they fill you with fear. It's a psychological tactic, like push-pull, I think.
Neutralizing that threat. It is the fear of Big Brother, the fear that there is a monster under the bed that you need to be afraid of
Well, they weren't selling the
And that
art; they
there
were
is
just
nothing that
displaying
will
it.
stop
But yeah,
this
I
beast.
have been to coffee shops in Philly that sell artwork for art,
And
I bought a painting.
they
that a
play
coffee shop
on
was.
the archetypal fear that we have of things like the devil by
He's got a
showing us
monster in his
satanic
pocket.
imagery right in your
He called
face.
for you, all-seeing eye.
So unbelievable.
The
You watch
all-seeing
some of
eye
the
is
Miley
here, 'cause
Cyrus music
Wilcock has
videos, some of the
summoned him.
Rihanna music videos where she's got devil horns,
Yeah, it's
some of the
called
ones from Katy
theater.
Perry where she's got the all-seeing eye and she's wearing
Listen.
satanic clothing.
This is the same guy who said I was a Satan worshiper because I wore a devil mask once. He thinks Rihanna is satanic because she wore a costume. It's called theater, you moron, right?
Lady Gaga dressed up in animal blood and animal meat. Unbelievable. And you can just tick down the list. It's basically now, it seems like almost everybody out there in the pop music arena who's getting to be really publicized by this controlled media is putting out this type of propaganda.
Oh, I don't believe this. They talk about satanic panic, right? Like, oh, they used satanic imagery. No, they wore a devil costume. There's a big difference. Trolly Troll Troll with 5 and 1 for the goal. Asking, is there an official winner of the summer's fishing tournament? Yes, for those unaware, every year my family at the cabin, we're there all summer on the weekends, usually long weekends, like 3-4 day weekends. Everybody in my family and extended family, because we have a lot of visitors at the cabin, everybody, we go fishing and we tally up, you know, who caught how many fish. And every year at the end of the season, somebody wins a trophy for that summer's fishing tournament, family fishing tournament. And this year, once again, Xavier won. And I don't remember the total number of fish that he caught. I think it was somewhere in the 20s, though. Like he might have caught 27 fish or something like that throughout the summer. And Xavier wins because he tries harder than everybody. He's always like, how long before dinner's ready, Dad? And I go, I don't know. Mommy didn't even start it yet. Probably 2 hours. And he'll go, well, I'm going to go to the fishing pond for a couple hours then. And he takes his phone with him. And if he catches fish, he takes a picture of each one to prove that he did. And the rest of us are like relaxing at the cabin. I'm laying on a hammock or something, or, you know, working around the cabin. He's fishing. So he wins usually. So he won once again this year. And I don't remember, did I give you the thank you? Thank you, Troll, long time show.
Praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty, praise the cash. Praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty, praise the cash.
Ha ha! Thank you, Troll. God bless you. Echo with $2 says he's dressed like a megachurch youth pastor at camp. Yeah, I can't say that I disagree with that, right?
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
Yes, Ra has commanded you, Echo. We need 7. Is it 7? Yes, we need 7 more super chats to hit the goal tonight of 5 or more. But thank you all for any support that you give. We read every single one. Thank you. Initiative is a good trait, Stephen. Well, he tries hard and he is a little competitive. He reminds me of his mother. And by the way, I was just listening. I was just in my car and I heard the song Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. And I can't believe I've never connected that to my wife before, because my wife is never wrong. Little Miss can't be wrong, right?
Putting out these simple.
Yeah, but he tries. He really tries to win. So I'll give him that. He takes the initiative, and he, you know, he was telling me in the beginning of the summer, I'm going to fish more than anybody because that's how you win, Dad. You try harder than everybody else. And I go, yeah, that's a good strategy for winning. He's right.
Out this
try harder than everybody you're competing with. You're going to win because you're trying harder. People are,
and you're seeing things like the Super Bowl halftime show where Madonna shows up as
Madonna's
Baphomet.
Baphomet,
which is the goat-horned god that was worshipped by the Knight Templars. And the Knight Templars appear to be one of the precursor groups that led to what we call the Illuminati. Not all Knight Templars are bad. Not all Freemasons are bad. In fact, the Freemasons caused the American Revolution. That was a good thing. They were standing up against the cabal, the British Empire. If you really want to understand
I
this
think
thing, where you
he
start
doesn't
rewinding the
understand
clock
history.
a little bit, you go back to
Yeah, there's a
the
lot.
Roman
Try
Empire.
to teach him.
And
Yeah,
when
he
their
is the
empire
last
was
one
in
who should
decline,
judge
after they'd
anyone.
already
I
conquered
agree,
Egypt and
Sasha.
acquired all of that
Yeah.
knowledge, secret knowledge that they never publicized.
Is this all from a dream in the
They wanted to
90s too?
restart
No,
the game,
I
but they
think
had
this
to
is just
relocate
Q-tard
where they were
stuff.
going to do it.
He's recycling Q-tard
And
nonsense.
as far back as 55 BC, Julius Caesar had invaded England. Before Christ even showed up, Julius Caesar had invaded England, and that was the precursor to the Roman incursion of England beginning in 100
Yeah,
AD.
well, everybody it was part of society.
Why is England so
It was a big deal to
important?
be
Because
part of
it
the
is a
Masonic
perfectly
Lodge in your
defensible
area. So there was a lot of
continental
masonry.
island. It's like
Sure.
a mini continent with a nice big moat around it. That means that if you
They
fortify
were on
your
both
shore,
sides. You're correct, FF 9000.
the only way anybody could invade is
English
navally.
lodges and American lodges. Yeah,
And you look around Europe, and there is no other place like England where this would work. Every
British
other
Empire
country
wasn't even the most powerful
has,
empire at the
at
time.
best,
I agree.
only a mountain border.
Are the
But
parishioners
mountains are
falling
easier to
asleep in the
traverse
hot,
than water.
sunny pews yet?
In water, you got to have all your supplies, all your food, all your military people on a ship that has to land on the shore. They have to disembark from the ship. They have to charge into your land. That makes it much, much harder, especially if you have
Yeah, he's an expert on warfare
enough
too.
firepower
You ever notice
that you can
he's
start
like
shooting
he talks
arrows
like
at
he's
them when
an
you're trying to get
expert
out of
on
the ship.
every
that kind of thing.
subject, and you can't be an expert on every subject.
So England was the perfect place. So
means you're a
as of
bullshitter,
about 100 AD,
basically,
the
right?
Romans began relocating to England. When I visited Graham Hancock, he lives in the city of Bath,
Pick up that name you just dropped.
and he actually has his house is right near Roman baths that were built around this time, 100 AD. They're still there, built by the Romans. You got to go a little bit farther, and you got to see, okay, wait a minute. The people that had
his
the secret
topics are all
knowledge
over the
held
place
over in the
being
Library of
around here.
Alexandria,
Thanks for being a
people
member.
who were aware of what
The
the
protractor, who's
Vatican
also a member,
initiative
says,
was.
imagine
They
saying, I'm your
relocated
daddy to a
their
flock
base of
persons.
operations to England,
And AC
that's where they
9000,
built their
he's not even
financial
an
center.
expert on one
The
subject.
Vatican remained the so-called spiritual
Right.
center.
He's just a bullshitter.
That becomes the financial center. And then when the time was right,
I don't know
they
about
had
you,
these
but I
ancient
don't want to
maps.
get a
They knew
history
there was
lesson from
land
this
over
guy
on
who's
the
wrong
west
about everything else.
that became
Right.
what we now call America.
He's literally wrong about
Perhaps
everything he talks
named
about.
after
Why would you
Amerigo
listen to
Vespucci.
him
There's
for a
couple
history
different
lesson?
theories. And they knew about this. And so Queen Elizabeth was one of the first people.
Yeah, I like Graham Hancock.
Henry
and
VIII
I'm
was her
okay with-
father.
even if he
And
gets
Henry
things
VIII,
wrong. It's good
based
to
on a
question
book like
history.
Born in Blood, The
That's all
Secrets of
Graham Hancock
Freemasonry,
does is he questions.
talks about the
Well,
idea
history
that
narrative.
Henry VIII was the first real cabal king of England, that they kind of had lost control. They kind of insinuate themselves into the monarchy. So Elizabeth is also one of these Illuminati.
Oh, she's
monarchs.
definitely Illuminati.
We
Yeah,
know for a
yeah,
fact
absolutely.
that Queen Elizabeth was working with a court astrologer named John Dee, and that he was using black magic to ensure England's success. There were two different times that a massive Spanish armada started to come towards England. They wanted to do that invasion by
Yeah,
sea.
he seems legit.
And John Dee is conjuring up
I have no
probably what
problem
ended up
with what he
now
does.
being the Draco.
Questions history.
We didn't really
I'm sure he's
know
right
that
about
for
some
sure
of his
back then, but
theories.
it's looking like that's who it was. And they say, the Draco say to them, don't worry, don't even try to
How can
fight them.
anyone
Don't
be so
send any
wrong,
ships out
says
into the
Patty.
sea. Don't try to
Right,
meet them in the
yeah.
water. Just sit back and do nothing. Well, we know you guys are real. You're materializing in the middle of our pentagram here, so okay. And these
Yeah, damn. I
Spanish Armada comes in 2 times in a row, documented history.
Yeah, stuff, not
This
history.
massive, massive storm shows up that was so bad that the entire armada got
You're right.
wiped
He's getting
out.
some things right.
Everybody sank. This was in the 1500s.
Wilcock
early
is a dumb
1500s.
illiterate.
Twice. It happened twice.
He works hard.
Now that
for his
looks
age,
like
but he's a
magic,
little
but
old-fashioned.
remember, if you have anti-gravity,
Well,
if you have a flying
yeah.
craft, all you'd have to do is create gravitational disruption around those ships and start boiling the sea, and then they'll all sink. Easy.
Okay,
Easy for
yeah.
somebody who is an extraterrestrial.
Let's use alien
what we have
technology
is
to stop ancient warships.
A very
Come on.
clear idea that there is this extraterrestrial
God bless him,
negativity
Spooky. I hope I'm the same way.
behind
I don't ever want to stop. I don't ever
why
want to retire.
England has been able to succeed so well.
Well, that's not true. I do want to retire, but
And
what I want to do is just work less and play more. That's my retirement plan. And also my retirement plan is that I have built or will have built soon 2 different cabins, and I'd like to find another plot of land elsewhere, maybe in Virginia or maybe in Georgia or maybe in New Jersey. Probably not New Jersey because the real estate taxes are crazy. I want to find another plot of land somewhere not near my other 2 cabins because those are only 3 miles apart. And my retirement plan is just for it to be cabin time all the time. I'm just going to go from cabin to cabin, and you know, I just enjoyed that so much. Cabin time is the best time. I mean, what's not to like? I ride my off-road e-bike. I go hiking. I go fishing. I build things in the woods, and I make my own firewood, and I just love cabin time. So that's what I'm going to do when I retire. I'm just going to hang out at the cabins and go from one to the other and do projects or fishing or whatever, right? Hopefully I get there someday.
Sure enough, the book that I wrote, Financial Tyranny, which was so groundbreaking,
David
started with this idea that the mega banks actually control 80% of the wealth in the world.
Mr. Protractor
Talks about this $29 trillion
it's like one
bailout,
big blender of bull.
and
That's
goes
what he
into
does.
this
Puts all kinds of
strange
bull in a
religion that they
blender,
have.
and then he regurgitates it.
None of this really makes sense
You're right. None of
until
this
you
makes
get
sense.
to the fact that they actually do have an organized religion.
All
It is not any
those
other religion
be
we're normally aware of. It is a secret religion.
no emotion or
It's actually in many ways a lot
nothing.
more complicated and difficult to understand
Why is Wilcock an
than
ignorant?
other religions. Most other religions have a fairly simple set of precepts. There's 1 or 2 texts to read. There's a Bible. There's a
maybe the
Quran.
aliens should have helped.
There's
so
an
it
Old
didn't.
Testament, New Testament. There's the
He's
Bhagavad
Spanish
Gita.
Armada with the
There's
Japanese divine wind.
Dhammapada, Buddha's Book
Mongol
of
thing.
Righteousness. There's a few texts
Well,
you
he
can read
gets
and you pretty much
factual all
got
the
it.
time, adjective noun. He's because he's a
Illuminati
moron.
religion is not like that at all. It's extremely complex. It's a group that cherry-picked from ancient mystery schools all over the world, and at various points, there were groups that were positive involved in this, and that would include the founding fathers of the United States of America. I think.
Oh, so those people are positive, right? And I was just checking in with Kick, and look at that. Green Auntie gifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subs. Yeah. Yeah. Some tech support has come in from a wonderful Griante. I hope I'm saying that right. Green Ante. Grenanti? I don't know how to say it. Grenanti or Grenanti. But 5 subs. Very, very generous of you. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. We'll give you a special praise the cash. And thank you to Grianti.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
We're praising it now. Thank you for the kick support, Grianti.
I think we can all agree.
Much
That was
appreciated.
not a
And God
negative
bless
thing that
you
they did.
and yours.
But a lot of those positive groups got washed under by the influence
Oh, I'm
of
sorry.
negative
I have the
extraterrestrials who
background
took
reduce
power
noise
that was
reducer
amassed
on
through
because my
secrecy.
kids spooky.
and consolidated it into
I can't win, so I apologize. I won't hit the buzzer anymore. I gotta work. Spooky, find me a soundboard. We need a soundboard. We definitely need a soundboard, or just a bunch of MP3s that I can put in there. Can we hit 20 super chats? Yeah, let's get there. What are we at? 13 of 20. We need 7 more super chats of 5 or more to hit the goal. And if we hit the goal, we'll do an extra Wilcock nonsense, and I'll show the cabin pictures, talk about the cabin for a while. I'll do an Ask Me Anything. Maybe I'll eat a lunch meat sandwich, whatever you guys want, right? Those praise the cash bumpers are cursed. Yeah, I've got new ones, but I haven't had time to convert them. I have to capture them. Holy, Wait till you see these new ones. Let me see if I can. They came from Sexy David Wilcock on Twitter. I think that's what his handle is. Now I'm going to have trouble finding them. All right, we'll continue in this, and we'll try to go through here. We'll continue the video, and I'll continue to look for it. I apologize.
A political worldwide empire. An empire that has three
it's
cities
racist,
within
Sexy
nations
David.
that are their own nation states. Vatican City, which is the spiritual center, City of London, which is the financial center, and Washington, D.C., which is the military center. That's the way it's been. And again, most people have completely divorced themselves from any concern about what's going on in Christianity or the Bible. But I'll tell you what.
No, he means most New Age people. Yeah. And I found these. Oh, yeah, baby. These are the new and improved Praise the Cash bumpers. Much more realistic, right?
I am the reincarnation of Ra, and I command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash or suffer my wrath. I am the reincarnation of Ra.
Suffer the wrath. Wow. Look at this one.
That kid Steven said he would leave me alone if I called him daddy. Praise the cash, daddy. Praise the cash, daddy. That kid Steven said he would leave me alone if I called him daddy.
Oh, this is so
Praise
bad.
the cash, daddy.
This is so bad. Look at this. Here's another one. There we go. Nice. So I'll get those together soon, and we'll add them to the deck here. Let's go back to the Wilcock nonsense video. There we go.
When you start realizing what these people are up to and the kind of symbols that they're advertising and shoving in our face, why are they so invested in
David,
this?
if we only had a paper bag.
Why did Jesus
talk
show
about
up?
a butterface. Spooky says, good Lord.
55 years
Those
after
came from racist, Sexy David
people
on
in
Twitter.
his nation, where he was,
My eyes
had started to
see
colonize
yellow.
Great Britain. I think there was some greater initiative that knew that this new move needed to be opposed if it was ever going to turn out well for us. And so as a result, the whole reputation of the Roman Empire.
We got to do one more. Sorry.
Long and hard. That kid Steven promised to praise the cash on me long and hard, so praise the cash. That kid Steven promised to praise the cash on me long and hard, so praise the cash.
Praise the cash, friends. That is gross. That is gross, man.
About a woman who's done all these.
I love how he uses the Bible to scam his audience, but he gets everything that every time he talks about the Bible, he gets it wrong. And, you know, not for nothing, but I had 12 years of scripture study, theology, very intensive theology classes, Christian and Catholic history, and more. You know, I was educated by the Jesuits. That's a whole conspiracy theory in and of itself, that I was educated by the Jesuits. But you know, I know enough about the Bible and have studied enough of the Bible to know that he gets every time he talks about the Bible, just about he gets it completely wrong.
You know, things like cheat on her husband, and Jesus starts telling her exactly what she did. He knows it psychically. She starts crying. She realizes he's got to be the real thing. There's all kinds of weird stories like this. And there's other stories from other religions. And that's the thing that really bothers me is, like, as soon as people pick one religion, you start acting as if your cool stories are the only ones that count. But yet, we have this Catholic priest, Father Francis Tiso, who is going to Tibet and studying the rainbow body phenomenon, where people are activating their soul into some higher form through being a loving person.
Oh, yeah. I love how he talks and preaches to people to be a loving person. Is it loving for you to steal money from morons claiming that Ascension's coming in May of 2025? Was it loving when you stole money from morons leading up to the year 2000 claiming Ascension was coming? Was it loving when you stole money from morons leading up to the year 2012 claiming Ascension was coming? And is it loving to steal money from people for fake angel prophecies that claimed that Ascension would come along with extraterrestrial contact, and mass arrest by May of 2025, right? Yes. So I was sent by the Vatican to disprove the truth that Wilcock exposes. I'm sure I've had at least one of his followers use the fact that I was educated by Jesuits to say that I'm some kind of disinformation agent trying to, screw up people trying to learn the truth from people like David Wilcock. What's this got to do with this history lesson? It doesn't. It's just a cavalcade of bull. He just mixed
teaching
together
is
bullshit.
based on being as loving as possible, forgiving,
2017,
accepting, and spending 13 years where you do not have a negative thought. And if you can do that, which would be nearly impossible in today's world, as I've been saying, if you can do 13 years,
rainbow light bodies,
where you're
whatever that
basically
might
just
be.
a loving,
Yes.
kind, generous person, you don't have selfish thoughts, you're not trying to manipulate anybody, you're just hardworking, you're honorable, you're sincere.
Rainbow,
you do that for 13 years.
Rainbow, body,
you graduated
rainbow,
from
body.
the entire
Yes.
reason to be on Earth, and you just activate your light
Diarrhea
body, and you
of
get to leave the
Here
Earth
he is still talking about
to
the
a much
rainbow light
less
bodies.
difficult place. If you look
Yes,
at the core of
2017.
Buddhist teaching, it's all about the fact that we are in a realm of suffering, which he calls samsara.
Well, that's true.
And that samsaric delusion captivates us with the idea that we will find happiness in the material world.
It's supposed to be the
And
downfall.
it really did work for a while.
Yeah.
If you look at the
This is what he
economic
was saying that
curve,
was going to happen in 2017.
the
and
era of the 1950s
I don't
in
think
America,
the cabal
you could
came crashing
actually
down. So
make enough money as a
New
man
age
to support
nonsense.
your wife, to have her be at home by herself without having to have a job. You don't have to have a daycare. You don't have to put your kids away in the daycare. You can have a single
it's
earner
secret,
family. You
special
can buy a
spiritual
house.
knowledge, but it costs $333.
That's the American dream, quote unquote. And I think that part of what Trump was referring to when he
Yes.
said "Make America Great Again" is that
We are suffering.
gestalt
Wasn't it
that is
David
still
Wilcock
stuck in people's
flattery?
head who are old enough to remember
That's correct.
that era. It wasn't until the 1970s that when you look at the actual curves that you start to see a very sharp decrease in the earning potential of the middle class. And it has really been in a state of ongoing collapse since that time. It has never really gotten better. So that as a result now, we don't have a middle class. We really do have super rich and poor and nothing in between.
Well, that's kind of true.
So as a result, those old school promises of materiality leading to happiness, that doesn't really work anymore. There's a lot of people now, especially in the younger generation, the millennials, they're having to figure out how to enjoy their lives without any of the stuff that would come with money.
Well, see, this part is kind of true. So, pepper in some truth. And also, a lot of people are very outraged by the economic disparities between the classes. So he's feeding into that, fomenting, rage against the machine, I suppose.
35% of all kids 35 and under, and I can say that because I'm I'm 44.
I don't know, though. I think that some of that whining about, oh, how am I ever going to buy a house and all that is kind of like just whining. Like when I was young, I figured it out, and I was poor as shit, but I bought a really beat up old house that was a fixer upper and I worked on it for 5 years. There's a way if you have the will, and some people just don't have the will for it, I guess, or they don't want to put the effort in. But it is true. Like, when I was a child, my father worked one job and could support our whole family, and my mom stayed at home. You can't really do that anymore. A lot of things have changed. I don't personally know anybody that has a full-time stay-at-home wife. I know a few of my friends that wives just work part-time, but my wife and I go full-time.
It's old
You
for
pull
me.
yourself up from the bootstraps, yeah.
Stuff doesn't work the way it used to. I'll just leave it at that. My
It's
knees
like a
don't
third
work.
phase of Moon
My
Mylar
shoulder
balloon
hurts
video
right
is
now.
still
It's
the
like,
best. Yeah.
Got gray hairs and my sideburns now. What's going on?
What's left of your hair? Yes.
That American dream doesn't work anymore. It's gone.
Racist, sexy David. That fits.
So when these people are out there trying to tell you,
Yep,
oh
no
yeah,
more Starbucks.
spend money and that'll, if you earn money, then you'll be happy.
You know, the other thing is the college thing. Like, I personally know a few younger guys that they owe like $100,000 on a college loan. Well, you decided to take that loan out, and then you went to, some people go to college for like a liberal arts degree that isn't really going to, ensure that you're going to be getting a job making a real amount of money. So, I knew somebody that was like, they had a degree in psychology that they weren't using because a 4-year degree in psychology is not really worth much. I mean, I guess you could work as an aide in a school for special needs, or you can work as, I don't know. But, he was working at Home Depot complaining about his college loan that was $100,000. Well, you decided to spend that. And a lot of people take out money for living expenses, and they don't work the whole 4 years they go to college. I don't know. I did it differently. I worked full time and I went to school at night, and I paid cash as I went. And that was extremely difficult to do, but I did it because I didn't want that loan hanging over me.
Oh, it doesn't work that way. I've met some people who are extremely wealthy. And if you actually study the data, psychological data, it turns
clearly
out
not. His house
that the
needed
people
work.
who are the most wealthy have exactly the same types
One
of
job with a
psychological
Bachelor of Arts.
problems at the
Yeah.
same level of severity of the people who are the most poor.
They
who
wanted
live in
government
trailer
bailouts.
parks.
Yeah. Well,
Literally.
they did it for the banks. They should
The
do it for the
pathology
citizens, I would think.
Of
right?
the mental disturbance of that lifestyle. Because basically, once you get to that point of having that level of wealth,
Got 18 more minutes of this shit.
you are a hunted being. Everybody's after you. What happens when people win the lottery? Are they happy? No.
I would be.
They end up having to cut cords with all of their friends, because the secret of the lottery is that you don't really make that much money all at once. You get checks that are supposed to be spread out over 30, 40 years in many cases.
Yeah, but $300,000-$400,000
It's very easy to blow
a year.
all that money at once, but then
Go a
everybody
long
thinks
way.
that you have $30 million. You don't. And then every person you know starts, even though they might really kind of stretch it out for a while, they eventually try to manipulate you into giving them money.
I don't think that's the case for everybody.
So
He's
this is a
speaking
spiritual
in
war.
pretty big generalizations. I'm sure there have been people that won the lottery that didn't go broke, that, got, first of all, if you win that much money overnight, you got to hire a financial advisor right away. That's one of the first things that you should do. Because if you're not used to having huge amounts of money, you're gonna misuse and mismanage it. Get a professional to help you manage that money. That would be the first thing I would do. But then you got to be careful, because some of those financial advisors will try to rip you off. But whatever.
And how could a group of people be inspired to destroy the biosphere?
And 3 years later, he's
the
doing
oceans,
exactly this.
to
That's
poison
right.
us with radiation. If you believe that a nuclear device was
Yeah, go get a
detonated
lawyer. You're
in
right.
the seafloor near Fukushima, thus causing that
and
disaster,
Psycho.
I do believe that's what it was. Why the hell would somebody want to do that? Why
Well,
the
you
hell
know,
would
they,
somebody want to have a nuclear war?
They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy, like, I think it can buy a lot of security. There's a lot of people think that very wealthy people, many of them are miserable. And I think that might be true in like Hollywood or the West Coast, but most wealthy men that I know are extremely happy, because they're safe, they're secure, they don't have to really worry about the money. It just comes to some people are very blessed that way. I don't know. Me, I've always had to work real hard. Wrong again, Wilcox. Lotto winnings can either be spread out over time or a small lump sum right away. Yes, always take the lump sum, because then you get to decide. And besides, you could keel over. If you take that 30-year spread out deal, what if you die the next year? Your family doesn't get to inherit that money. You die. They won't pay it out. Take the lump sum. Always take the lump sum. I'm so unlucky I never win anything, but I did win there's a ball drop. If anybody knows what that is, they put all these golf balls in a fire. They put it up a ladder, and the bucket they fill it with golf balls, and everybody has a number. And I won $150, but I didn't buy the ticket. My brother-in-law did and gave me the ticket, and I won $150 or maybe $200. That's the extent of my luck. I could never get lucky enough to win the Powerball. Every once in a while, when the Powerball is huge, I do go buy a ticket, even though the odds are astronomically against you. But, you know, it's worth the ticket price just to dream, like, what if, right?
Nuclear war devastates the whole planet.
If I won the lottery, I'd start a charity, and I would just do charity
We're
work.
talking
every day in my
about a
life.
group of people who had developed a space program where they don't need this planet. They don't need to
Money
live on the
can't buy
surface. They can
happiness.
live
It won't give you
underground perfectly
fulfillment.
comfortably.
That's
Lots
fair.
of great housing down there. Beautiful,
Yep,
luxurious,
I buy a lot of
amazing.
Dream too.
You could nuke the
Yep.
planet to a
Always
cinder,
take
and
the
as
lump
long as the
sum.
planet itself
Yeah.
doesn't blow up, those areas underground will be fine. They've built a whole
Golf
vast
sounds
infrastructure
spooky.
in our
Well, they
solar
dropped
system
the
and
golf
elsewhere.
balls.
There's plenty of places to live out there too. So this is expendable for them.
Yeah, there are horror stories of people who won the lottery and ruined their lives. Yeah. Yeah, it happens.
What has happened is that people within that group have broken away, and they do not
that's
want to play
interesting.
this game. They do not want to.
Yeah, last time me and my wife were in Vegas, we went to the hotel, and the person at the front desk was like, "I'm so sorry, sir, but we're very short-staffed. The cleaning staff is very short-staffed today, and your room won't be ready for like 90 minutes." And I go, "Okay, well, I guess we'll come back." And they gave my wife and I like a card with $50 on it and said, "Well, why don't you guys go enjoy these slot machines?" And me, I go to my wife and I go, "Can we just cash out the 50 right now and keep the 50?" And she goes, "Yeah, but aren't you going to play?" I go, "No." She went with the 50 and she won like a big, I think it was like $1,000 on one of the slot machines while we were waiting. But she's got luck like that. I never win anything, right? I kept the 50 and I said, "I'll buy dinner with this or something while we're here." And I did, you know? Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have any good luck.
Destroy this beautiful planet.
Well, I mean, luck is relative. I'm very blessed. I think I am lucky. I have two great kids and a really beautiful wife who takes excellent care of me and my boys. So maybe I don't have luck with lottery, but I had luck in life. So I should never complain. You be grateful. Count your blessings, friends.
And ultimately,
And besides, tonight's meeting night, right? So that's good. I'm going to have a meeting with my wife, if you know what I mean. That's what we tell my boy. Like, oh, we have to have a meeting. So we'll be in the bedroom for a while. Someday when he finds out what a meeting means, he's going to need therapy.
those people
Because we tell him that a lot.
have
For a meeting.
been guided.
My wife always makes up an excuse too. We have to talk about the taxes or something.
By benevolent,
Because otherwise they knock on the door and they bug us, you know?
what we would now call extraterrestrial beings, what would be called angels in the Bible. And that does not mean
Here he is mixing angels and extraterrestrials as far back as 2017 here. This is not new. He's doing it in his current scam. This has been a riff of his forever. Oh, angelic extraterrestrial beings. The Nordics, those hot blonde chicks and the hot blonde dudes. Yeah.
that when I'm talking about the Alliance, that I'm saying they are angels. These are people that came out of one of the most brutal, despotic regimes in the history of Earth, if not the most brutal. The modified, rebooted Roman Empire, where the spiritual
you,
head is
Trump,
Vatican
Trump, bro.
City, financial head is City of London, and the military
Yeah.
head is Washington, D.C.
We're having a
They
staff
did
meeting,
have
Bobby.
unparalleled power for a long time.
You know what's funny? That nobody tells you when you get married that no matter how bad a friend you might have had that was a cock blocker, and I've had a few friends like that. You know what used to piss me off is when I would be single and I'd go out with my guy friends and I would try to talk to a girl, and then one of my guy friends would like jump between us. And this guy had no shot in hell. Like I at least had a shot. And he cock blocked, right? I hate cock blockers. But nobody tells you when you get married that the worst cock blockers in the world are children. Like I'm trying to get to happy fun time, and they're knocking on a door. They want snacks, they want ice cream, or they want to. One time I had to stop what I was doing in the middle of it and go make a banana split. Like, really? Can you at least wait until I, what are you going to do though? They're children. They need their mom sometimes, but sometimes I need their mom more.
But there have always been splinter groups and breakaway factions, and what has now occurred.
Especially if I'm feeling backed up in my balls. So amazing. Sometimes you just get backed up in your balls.
The majority of the entire U.S. Department of Defense is engaged in a civil war in this country right now. Now, listen to what I said. The majority of the entire Department of Defense is fighting the cabal.
No, they're not. You're full of shit. They are the cabal.
Very misleading, because
the Department of
if
Defense
I'm wearing a big team jersey here and it says 35 on the back, that means he's number 35 on that team. America is supposed to be a country with a leader that we voted for democratically, who has an agenda. That country has a certain position in the world. It has a certain role to play if there's a war.
Yeah, like,
you don't really think about there being a war within a country. You don't really think about a country having different factions that are fighting against each other. You don't really think about an unacknowledged civil war that is very extreme, more intense, and more politically meaningful than the actual Civil War.
I will see cucumbers in my life for the rest of my life, Stormcrow.
That we are in World War III. It's already happening. It's happening right now. And thanks to the benevolent ETs, I believe has a lot to do with it. World War III has predominantly not been destructive in the physical sense.
Yeah, endless wars for a nation that hasn't been invaded in 200 years.
For many years, it's an open secret.
Against all war.
That Hollywood,
unless it's absolutely necessary,
is being used by the Department of Defense to recruit people into the military.
If somebody came into our country to invade, I would be all for war. Like, they came here and they're trying to fuck with us. But all these foreign wars that is really just about, geopolitics and warmongering and war profiteering, I'm against all of that. I'm against the Russia-Ukraine war. I'm against the Israeli-Palestinian war. Like, I just think that we as a species are too quick to do that. There's got to be diplomatic solutions to most disagreements between nations.
If you just think back to the 80s, any number of films, like, for example, Top Gun, Tom Cruise breakaway role, one of them, it's totally jingoistic military propaganda film.
Well,
you might love that film, but you go back and think about it, you're like, damn, yeah. And there's a lot of films like this. I'm not saying that's wrong. We need to have a military.
Civilian population is
voluntarily enlisted in a civilian.
Anybody remember the movie Red Dawn?
Very much.
That was a great movie.
What soldiers do.
Somehow the Soviets got the Mexicans to invade the United States, to risk your life. We had to fight them off. That was a great movie.
Does that mean that if you're a keyboard warrior that you're any less brave? No. The monster under the bed, this Gestalt, this supernatural evil that the cabal wants you to think they are. They want you to believe that that satanic evil is real, but that there's no credence to the positive side.
It was
the way I look at it is, if that satanic evil is real, and you know it is, then there has to be something behind all these positive spiritual traditions.
Most people are, which is funny, because if we're supposed to have a representative democracy and our leaders are supposed to represent the will of the people, most people are against war. So why do we have the wars? So many wars, right? It doesn't make sense. If they're supposed to be listening to the people don't want the wars. I was very upset with Trump deciding to bomb Iran, because he kind of ran on a platform of no foreign wars, and he kind of went against that. I don't know if that was totally necessary or if it really did anything to slow them down as far as getting a nuclear device. But I'm not even sure that that's fair. One nation that has nukes telling other nations, you can't have that. It's kind of like a bully on a playground that has a baseball bat, and then you go get a baseball bat and he says, no, you can't have that. It doesn't really But I get it. They don't want, especially these nations that are so big on supporting terrorism, to get a hold of a weapon like that. I guess it makes sense.
So what we have now is films that are made by the Department of Defense.
It's bully mentality. Yeah, I agree.
Ultimately, they made those
Thanks for
films.
being a member.
And those films are preparing us for an exposure of the cabal. And you've seen me talk about some of these. One of the most incredible examples was the film Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very popular
forgot
film,
about
the
that.
biggest film
You're
of
right.
the year.
The Last Invasion.
In that
Scott
film,
War in January 1815.
You have
1,500 British troops attacked
people who are
Plymouth
infected with
defended
some
American
sort
battery.
of human enhancement virus that leads to
Why
them
does
having
Wilcock's
redness
hairline
appear
keep
on their
moving
skin.
around?
They're
Maybe
like
he's got
demonic
bumps.
beings.
Who knows?
And there is actually a scene where one of these beings melts a tower.
He
and
has
the
a whole
tower
lug
comes
work
down.
on his
They
head.
melt the steel beams. A vague but definite allusion to 9/11. You have a president who clearly was meant to look like George W.
Yeah,
You
well,
have the
there's
vice
a
president
deterrent.
who clearly
It's
is
called
supposed to
mutual
look like
assured
Dick Cheney.
destruction, remember?
And the punchline at the end of this
If
movie,
two
again,
nations go to nuclear
you
war,
can clearly
that's gonna
trace that it was financed by
the
the
whole
DOD,
Earth.
that it promotes
not
the
just
DOD.
the nations that are fighting.
Iron Man
Because the
has
nuclear
this
fallout will
smart suit
destroy the environment.
that could very well be something similar to things that already exist, or at least
Yeah.
maybe some degree
Yeah,
of
you're
that.
right.
So that would be a really cool thing to join a military in the future where you have a suit like Iron Man.
Oh, Wilcock's wife is selling pickle videos on Telegram.
And the point is that at the end of the movie, the vice president of the United States
He just stringed together a bunch of history.
is
Yeah,
the
now
one
he's
who
talking about
financed
the Iron Man movie.
a
He must have just
terrorist
saw the Iron Man movie.
to attack the United States. A man played by Ben Kingsley, who is
His
obviously
wife left
supposed to
him
be
for
Bin Laden.
cucumbers, and David left her for Corey Good.
This
Not
was
a
the
lie.
biggest film of
That's
the year.
basically what happened.
So when people tell me that there's no credence in the
For
idea,
those unaware, David Wilcock's wife left him because he never made her come, and she decided that a cucumber would be a better option than letting David Wilcock bone her. It's a really sad story. And then, fellas, you got to be able to ring that bell. If you can't ring that bell, she's not going to stick around. Make sure you always ring that bell, dude.
that there is an alliance, I say bullshit. Go watch these movies. Go watch the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's unbelievable.
Somebody's been watching
First
Marvel
Captain America
movies.
movie had some interesting things in it, a few things.
He's getting paid
Nowhere near
$10,000,
like what's in the second.
$20,000, and he's just going to talk about
The
Marvel
second Captain
superhero
America
movies?
movie reveals
20
that
minutes?
German scientists and political figures got
I hope I can't
transferred
stop
over
eating
here in
ice cream.
Project Paperclip. Scarlett Johansson delivers the key.
You know, Spooky, I worked for an ice cream company once. It's famous in the United States. It's called Jack and Jill Ice Cream. And if you're in the United States on the East Coast and you ever got an ice cream off the ice cream truck, it came from Jack and Jill. All that stuff comes from Jack and Jill. And I worked there, and they had these big freezers in the break room full of ice cream, everything they made, so that when visitors came, you gave them some ice cream and, samples or whatever. I put on 10 pounds while I was working there. I ate ice cream for breakfast and lunch, because why should I buy breakfast or lunch if there's delicious ice cream, all I can eat right in the break room? And when I first started working there, I was like, I can eat any of this? And they're like, yeah, we have tons of it. You can eat whatever you want, but after a while, you're not going to want, the last thing you're going to want is ice cream after working here. Nope. It never wore off. It never wore off. And we would get 5-gallon ice cream containers for the big ice cream parlors. They would buy those 5-gallon big fucking thing of ice cream. And we had to taste test it to make sure it wasn't freezer burned or anything. So we'd open this 5-gallon thing, a little taster spoon, and taste it, and then throw it in the trash. And I was like, really? We throw all this away? Because I was on the quality assurance team or something, and every once in a while, a day of my work was just tasting out of these 5-gallon things. And they'd line them all up. And I'm like, really? We're just going to throw this out? And they're like, yeah, why? Do you want it? And I go, yeah. And I took out 5-gallon ice cream jugs all the time. So much so that we got a chest freezer, and I didn't buy ice cream for like 2 years after I stopped working there. We just had it in the deep freezer, right?
Lines in the movie.
I missed that
at the
job.
exact
Well, I don't
midpoint
miss
of
the
movie,
job,
they
but I
end up
missed
in some
the ice
German
cream.
supercomputer left over from World War II that talks to them, and they use the cool
Wilcock
whirling
is a
things of the
catcher.
supercomputer as a visual to kind of
Absolutely.
pad the fact that they're doing a
Yeah, I
lot of
should have
exposition.
bulked with that
The
kind
hardest thing to do in a Hollywood
of berry,
screenplay
right? Yeah.
is to give a whole bunch of information verbally in a short time.
Can't be
and still
healthy
make
for
it
you to eat
exciting.
that
That's
much
called
ice cream every
exposition.
day, though. I did it for a year and a half,
They
probably.
padded the exposition by having this weird, cool computer, so the computer can just say a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like a little mini
He was running
documentary
his
that's
plane
inserted
scan
into
back
the movie
then.
Captain
That's
America:
interesting,
Winter Soldier.
Leo.
And that computer reveals that Germans were brought over here in World War II, Project Paperclip, and in the movie they have a group that is called Hydra, and Hydra is a secret Nazi faction in the United States that includes...
Does he know that the movies is fiction and there's no such thing as Hydra? And, not for nothing, but do you know what it costs? Spooky, what does it cost for the weekend to attend Contact in the Desert? Isn't it like $500? Could you imagine paying $500 to hear about extraterrestrials and aliens? And then you get this clown just telling you about the fucking Marvel movies he's watched in the past year or something? Like, this is fiction. Why did I pay $500 to listen to this crap?
senators and congressmen. And in this movie, which again was the #1, or I think in that case it was the #2 movie of the year, I think it was beat out by Hunger Games, you have senators shaking each other's hand, whispering in each other's
He's
ear.
telling
"Hail
everybody
Hydra."
about Marvel movies that he went.
This is totally real.
was
It's a film that cost
$400
God knows how,
to
120, 150 million dollars
even
to make.
400. You paid $400
It
to listen to
happened.
this asshole.
So don't tell me
Tell you about
that there's no
Captain
alliance.
America movies. Let me tell you about Iron Man 3.
The
It
whole
was a
freaking
great
film
movie.
ends with Hydra being publicly exposed in a WikiLeaks type of data dump.
$500. Yeah,
And
that's
then you
what it
have Scarlett Johansson speaking on
cost.
behalf
What
of the
for? No
intelligence
way.
services
No
saying,
way. That's what it cost.
you guys are going to need
$500.
us to fight this thing.
The elevator scene in Endgame was good.
So one of the
shit. I
things
like
that has aroused a lot
He
of
knew he was gonna have
controversy
to
on the internet
Kick some ass.
is when I try to break this paradigm that the cabal wanted to install in our consciousness, that everything associated with government is bad.
I think they did a great job with the Captain America.
Oh my God, the CIA, that's bad. Oh my God, the FBI, that's bad. Oh my God, the DIA. Oh
Does
my.
anybody remember back in the day? I don't know why they did this, but you could go to comic shops and they would cut half of the cover off of the older comics for some reason. I guess to make, I don't know why they would cut half the cover off, but you could get those for less than half price. So I would go there and buy a lot of comics. And for some reason, there was always a lot of Captain America comics in there. I don't know if they didn't sell. So I grew up reading Captain America comics. And that whole scenario where, in the comics, Captain America just resigned from being Captain America. And then they got John Walker, who also had the super soldier serum, to be the new Captain America. Anyway, they did a great job turning that all into live action. They told the whole story, the John Walker story. I still haven't seen the new Avengers. What is it? Thunderbolts? I still haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to get it. I want me and my son to watch it. We missed it in the theater.
God, the NSA. The NSA are the people, some of the people in the NSA designed Bitcoin.
Coast to coast truth
Because
seekers.
Bitcoin creates this thing called a blockchain that has a
Did he just say some of the people in the CIA created Bitcoin? The CIA didn't create Bitcoin, you moron. A private citizen did.
digitally stored copy of all the transactions.
I
that
say
are
he
made
gets
in Bitcoins
everything
in the
wrong.
world.
Oh,
Everybody
the CIA
has
designed
the
Bitcoin.
full
No, they didn't.
bookkeeping.
We know
all
who did it.
Bitcoin transactions.
John Walker
in their
did nothing
blockchain.
wrong.
You cannot
Well, he
hide
became US
any
agent.
transaction that you make in Bitcoin.
I want to see him
You
in
do
the
not need a bank.
Thunderbolts
You
movie.
do not need an intermediary. It's all done digitally. According to Pete Peterson,
Bitcoin
that was
didn't invent
done
the blockchain.
by the people in the alliance
Okay, and here
to
he's
create an alternative.
citing his fake government insider, Pete Peterson, the guy who was a con artist with a fake education and a fake work history and fake accomplishments in the tech field that he never actually did. Yeah, that fraud told him that the CIA invented Bitcoin, and he just believed him, and he's blindly repeating totally fake information to these people that are paying money. Great job, Wilcock, you moron.
Alternative to the Federal Reserve dollar. The way you create Bitcoins is by what's called Bitcoin mining, where you take powerful computers and you generate these algorithms, and when they generate the solution, you've got a Bitcoin. And so your degree of Bitcoin is measured by how much computer power you can marshal if you want to do Bitcoin mining.
Bitcoin mining barely works now.
That was an alternative to this Federal Reserve fiat currency, fiat meaning money printed out of thin air. And it works. And it's always been there in place in the time that it would be needed. We also have heard,
Bitcoin was invented by CIA.
Everybody knows, well, yeah, DARPA started the internet.
Dude is long-winded.
It was called first it was called ARPANET, which was the ARPA was from DARPA, and then it became the internet. What you don't usually hear, but again, we have from our old-timer insider, Pete Peterson, who was literally one of the most valuable people for Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney.
He never worked with Rumsfeld. He never worked with Dick Cheney. He never worked with Ronald Reagan, as he claimed. He was an old senile clown that Wilcock mined for fake stories to repeat to morons.
And
we've proven that many, many times. Here he says he worked for Ronald Reagan. If Pete Peterson worked for Ronald Reagan, he would be mentioned in the Ronald Reagan archives in the Ronald Reagan library. No mention of Pete Peterson. He's complete and total fraud, and Wilcock just repeats nonsense from him.
Ronald Reagan, he was very active in the Reagan administration.
If he was active in the Reagan administration, his name would be in Ronald Reagan's library. It's not. He never worked for Ronald Reagan, David Wilcock, and I can prove that. Here he is just lying straight through his teeth. And by the way, why do I have to go to the Ronald Reagan library and prove that Pete Peterson is a fraud? Why don't you vet your sources before repeating their disinformation, misinformation, fake information, and fake stories? He never does. And you could find out that Pete Peterson is a fraud in 15 minutes. You just call the Ronald Reagan archive and you ask them for all records related to Pete or Gary Peterson. And when they come back and tell you there are no records, then you know that he never worked for Ronald Reagan, because anybody that worked for Ronald Reagan during the administration would be at least mentioned in the Ronald Reagan library. He's not, because he's a fraud. He lied to you, Wilcock, and now you're lying to everybody else, repeating his lies because you're a moron.
They were dealing with all this absurd stuff that was going on behind the scenes that they were concealing from us. And when I say absurd, this includes
rambling.
Literally a little flying saucer about this big appeared on Reagan's desk, and a little conveyor comes down, and these little beings come out, and they start talking to him that way. And there was a funny little movie called Batteries Not Included that was based on some of that intel.
Oh, sure. Batteries Not Included was a true story.
They basically said that we had to stop using nuclear weapons, and that if we didn't, that they would have the power to make it very bad for us.
Make it very bad for us. Oh, the aliens.
Well, the military thinks if any type of ET wants to stop you from using nukes, that they have to be evil and they're trying to take over. What they're starting to understand now is that we are the inheritors of a battle that has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years between good and bad ETs.
He does not fact check.
Bad ETs want to create a money system. They want to create
a slave
state. They want to create institutional control. They want to dominate you.
Yeah, like
because they literally live
Batteries
off of fear.
Included. Yeah.
This is the key. Where is the payoff? Why would anybody want to do this?
Cocoon was based off
humans on Earth alone. It doesn't seem like that they would want to destroy their own planet. It seems like they get peer pressured into thinking that's a good idea. But there's other beings that are very, very evil, like the Draco reptilians, where they literally
on a true story too. I love
survive on energy. And specifically, they survive on the energy of fear, the energy of suffering, the energy of pain, the energy of trauma.
Your wife is complaining about
what I'm doing. So when you get into this Pizzagate stuff, and why the hell would politicians sign up for something called North American Man-Boy Love Association, or NAMBLA?
Batteries not needed with a cucumber. Good
According
point.
to Peterson, 86% of Congress are members of NAMBLA.
member. See this?
Imagine what would happen if
according to Pete Peterson, what he should say is, according to this senile old man who lied about his education, who never went to college, who was probably a high school dropout and a con artist his entire life, he told me this stuff. Why don't you give people the full disclosure of what source you're repeating? A known con artist scammer who ran pump and dump tech scams.
Full membership roster of NAMBLA.
And let's not forget about that $60,000 scam that he ran, David Wilcock allegedly ran with Pete Peterson, claiming he was under deep state attack. It was a run-of-the-mill home foreclosure on a home that Pete Peterson had no rights to. It belonged to his girlfriend, not him.
To be published.
And it was already foreclosed on when they took $60,000.
We find out that even
of
part
the
of that
UFO
number is
community
true.
to save his house. There was no
Guess
saving
what?
the
It
house.
already is happening.
Total scam.
There already has been a revelation about the beloved American hero Bill Cosby with the Cosby Show. And he's doing all this crazy stuff.
That was a crazy story.
And yet he had this show. And he was all the way on TV back during I Spy in the 1960s. Do you think they didn't?
I love, there's one comedian who talks about how Bill Cosby yelled at him for cursing on stage. And he's like, yeah, but at least I didn't R any women like him. Sorry, I cursed on stage, but I wasn't going around R'ing, you know?
No. Do you really think they didn't know when they were putting him out there as America's dad? And it's even worse in England, because there you have this character named Jimmy Savile, who was literally the front man for all the rock bands on the top program called Top of the Pops. And this guy continued to be on television right up until he died. With his final show being called Jim Will Fix It.
Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned
and this guy is about as evil as you could ever imagine. He's got literally so many victims that they've estimated 1,450 victims.
So he got away with it.
And some of the people who have testified have said
3 years in prison
that what he did was to go after them in a satanic ceremony where they're wearing robes and masks and chanting Ave Satanas, which in Latin means Hail Satan.
Not Sayville. Yeah, he can't get his facts right.
And this guy is meeting with the Queen, the royal family. He's introducing us to the Beatles, to the Rolling Stones, to all the top 60s bands on television.
Yeah,
he was a beloved hero. And he created 40 plus children's hospitals. And the data now suggests that each of these children's hospitals,
Toxic Avenger is based on a true story, says FF9000.
Where satanic ceremonies took place. That is public record, indisputable.
Evil ETs are effing up my money.
So we already know.
Big Monster 220 real.
And then if it's happening over there, and Bill Cosby is one of the ones that's gotten caught over here, and everybody looks the other way. You have
posting.
This
None of
famous
this ties
actor,
together.
Corey Feldman,
from one conspiracy
among
to another.
several major figures.
Yeah, now we're getting into Corey Feldman.
Is pedophilia. That's the big dark secret of Hollywood. All kinds of stuff has come forward about this.
Yeah, and Corey Feldman also ran a scam to get millions of dollars to name names, and he never named the names. I don't know. There was a whole GoFundMe scam that Corey Feldman run. So is he telling the truth, or was he just trying to make money off of his claims? And I believe, friends, that we have reached the end. We made it to 45 minutes of that. If people want me to, we'll go through the other 45 minutes of nonsense. What is he talking about? I don't think he knew what he was talking about. Could you imagine paying $400 or $500 to go to an event and David Wilcock just starts telling you about Captain America and Iron Man? Then he starts going on to some schizo rants about child trafficking and Hollywood elite, right? Wilcock must post on 4chan Paranormal. Probably. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to hit the goal tonight, so no overtime. But we've been here over 2 hours. So we'll call it a show. I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully all this week I will be doing a special Saturday show as well. I want to try to start doing kick-only shows. While we're on that subject, I'll again ask for you to please, for the love of God, go over to True Seekers Clips and subscribe there. We only need like 15 more subscribers, and we'll be able to get that thing monetized, we hope, and give Spooky a job. Everybody knows Spooky does the best clips, so we'd be happy to be able to give Spooky a job doing the clips. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here, and I will give people sort of an update. This Internet Insanity Circus show, it keeps going and going and going. I'm getting the rest of the bumpers together, and we're going to get started on that shortly. This is for a segment of the Internet Insanity Circus show called Redneck Rampage. You ever see some of those crazy redneck videos on the internet? Well, we're collecting all of them, and it's some funny shit. This is the bumper for it with a new puppet.
Howdy, folks, and welcome. Welcome to the Internet Insanity Circus. Are you ready, my friends, to see some real down home, down south, real country, hillbilly shit? It's time to see some real rednecks in their natural habitat. It's time to laugh at some real redneck shit captured on video.
That's right.
It's
Redneck
time for
shit.
Redneck Rampage.
Moonshine Still.
Redneck Rampage, they're fearless and bold. Redneck Rampage, their adventures unfold. Redneck Rampage, they're here
You're
to
right,
stay.
Brian, it was. That's where I stole it from.
Redneck Rampage, we like it that way. Welcome to the Redneck Rampage. Redneck Rampage, welcome to the Redneck Rampage.
This is cool.
Redneck Rampage,
Yeehaw! Yes, Wes. Yeehaw!
Redneck Rampage, welcome to the Redneck Rampage.
Patty could just look over her fence.
Redneck Rampage, welcome to the Redneck Rampage.
Nice. All right. So we'll get a little bit of a promo for the Internet Insanity Circus. I really will announce a date. I have some little bit more work to do at the cabin. I intend on hardwiring the computer that will be streaming, because right now it's on Wi-Fi and it's just barely enough. But I think if we hardwire it, you know, we might get a little more speed, and I'm willing to do that. We'll get rid of the fair use banner, and I will check in to see if David Wilcock has already copyright claimed this stream. He's been doing it during the live stream in the previous examples. 1 second. Yeah, I don't want to. We'll see if he's demonetized this already. No, monetization is still on the current video that we are live streaming. But sometimes he files these copyright claims after the broadcast. He can't file any copyright claims on this Contact in the Desert video because he doesn't own that. Oh, and I'm sorry, I almost missed it. Thank you, Urban Terra, who's been a longtime show supporter, for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. And we thank you for your kindness and your continued support. He's a continuing supporter, Urban Terra is. And look at that. There's a member badge. Also a member. So a big show supporter, Urban Terra. Throwing 10 in as we bounce. Thank you, Urban Terra, and God bless you.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
All right, and we're gonna get those new bumpers together. So maybe the next time we do a Wilcock show, or the time after that, I don't know how long it's going to take me. I have to edit those up and get them ready. Thank you, Urban Terra, for your kindness, generosity, and support. Yeah, F that Wilcock, right? What's the betting Wilcock comes out with what he predicted the Charlie Kirk shooting, the scumbag? Yeah, exactly, the Watcher. He is a scumbag. He already grifted off of Charlie Kirk's death, right? Yeah, and it's interesting. Over the weekend, we had quite a hater of the Phil shows who was pointing out that my interview with Darkside Phil got 41,000 views, but my last video got just under, I think, 2,000 views. And how I'm a shitball, or so, you know, like just ripping into me, like, oh, look at the decline. And he said that I wasted the Keno bump. And you know, I don't really have any desire to engage with somebody that's just in my comments to be a hater and nasty. But I bought a forest, man. I bought a forest with that Keno bump and with covering Darkside Phil. And you know, people are, oh, you're just doing that for the money. Well, the money's good, and I kind of enjoy looking in on Darkside Phil. So I'm going to keep doing it, even if it doesn't get many views, because usually if I do a Darkside Phil show, I make $100 or $150 in super chats, and that's not a bad take for, you know, I don't need to make, you know, like during that interview, I made like thousands of dollars. I don't need to make that every time I cover Phil, and I don't expect to. And sure, that interview got huge views because he doesn't give interviews, and everybody wanted to see what would happen. You know, I don't know. And you know what I always notice? People who, he's like, your show sucks and you'll never, you know, and I said I bought a forest. I did. I bought like a 7-8 acre forest with a private road with that money. You know, I consider that a big win, right? Like, how many people own 7 or 8 acre forests with their own private road in, you know? And that property is going to benefit me and my family for the rest of my life. It might benefit my grandchildren for all I know. You know, we're going to keep it in the family. I came here. Broken Hip says, it's not a waste. I came here from the Phil interview, and a lot of our audience did. So, you know, I don't understand the hate, you know, oh, you're not getting any views, and now, you know, you wasted the Keno bump. And like, how long do you think a bump lasts? That's another thing. It's always some dickhead that doesn't have a channel and doesn't understand how this shit works, doesn't, you know. And then I look on his channel, and he's got one video that has 42 views. So, but his argument is, well, I'm not a content creator. Well, then you don't understand how this works. Let me explain it to you. When you get a bump from a bigger channel, that big bump is temporary. It's not going to last forever. Your views are going to go way up for a short period of time, and then they're going to level off and valley out, you know. Katie Death Squad with one for the goal says, what are the chances that Dave will try to pull the Ascension scam again? I don't think he's ever going to be able to pull the Ascension scam. He loves this Ascension scam. But after somebody like me can prove that it was a scam the first 3 times, I doubt you could run it a 4th time, Katie Death Squad. But you never know. Never underestimate the power of the grift. Praise the cash, Katie Death Squad. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. And God bless you and yours as you have blessed me and mine.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash, praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
Yeah, and Patty says there's a core, thank you, Katie Death Squad. There's a core audience here. And we expanded our audience by covering Phil. And also, I get so sick of the UFO scammers and UFO grifters and all the UFO nonsense and the fake psychics and all that. And I consider it like a break. When I do a Phil show, I just have fun and I laugh at this loser. And people come here to laugh at this loser with me. So we'll keep doing them for as long as people want to see them. And maybe I'll buy another forest eventually on Darkside Phil. I just don't understand people that you know, oh, you wasted that. No, I bought a fucking forest. And then of course it's, oh, you can never win with one of these haters. So then it's like, well, you're not going to be able to keep up those kind of luxuries with your current viewership and decline in views and all this shit. Hey, loser, the taxes on that property are currently somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 a year. I'm pretty sure I can come up with $400 a year for the foreseeable future and keep that property well. So yes, I will be able to keep up with it. Never underestimate the depths grifters will sink to for continuing their grift. Yeah. Spooky is thanking everybody for the generous support this evening. Yeah, thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Let's thank Spooky for doing the graphics and for clipping together right before showtime. Spooky gave me the timestamps. I was just going to play them from the video, but then Spooky was like, I can just edit them together. And that was amazing for such a quick edit. Thank you, Spooky. And Spooky, aren't you gonna be doing a show with that dude that what is this, Tyler? Spooky's gonna be doing a once a week show on I'm sorry, Spooky, I get all these disclosures. There's like 100 shows with the disclosure in the total disclosure. So you know, go over there and support Spooky's efforts to make that show not suck so much, you know. Only Spooky can save that shitty show. If anybody can save a shitty show, it's Spooky. Because with Spooky, when Spooky works on a good show, the good show becomes a great show. So I think if Spooky works on a really shitty show, Spooky can at least bring it up to not so shitty level. That's my thing. Spooky says once a week I will be going over current news for an hour over there. All right, well, good. I'm glad you got another gig, but don't fuck up on the gig here, you know? Spooky gets busy with other shit, and then it's like, oh, here's a thumbnail I did on my phone in 3 minutes. Suffer, Spooky. Suffer, Truth Seekers thumbnail. Spooky busy. Fuck Steve, right? The grifter channel that Spooky's working for, I'm sure pays much better than we do here. You gotta go to the grifts, and Spooky says guilty. That's true. The Clips channel is True Secret. No, it's a different show, a different channel. That Spooky's going to be. I think Spooky was already doing some editing for this scammy, grifty show. Disclosure, total disclosure. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh. I think that kid means well, but he's too believer brained, and he needs somebody like Spooky to go like, you know, this shit's all fake, right? Maybe Spooky can wake him up a little bit and also make his show not so one-sided, right? Are you doing a phone in? When are you doing a phone in again? Maybe this weekend. Maybe on Saturday we'll do that, but we're going to do it as a kick only. I want to start doing kick only streams on Saturday because I want to get people used to, oh, Steve's streaming on Kick on Saturday night at 8 o'clock or whatever. Spooky says that guy's a cool guy. I don't know. That remains to be seen, right? Yeah, next panel show. Maybe this Saturday. Do a thumb, and maybe I'll do it. But it'll be kick.com exclusive. And I want to get, any panel shows. We're going to do one maybe this coming Saturday. And for those unaware, a panel show is when anybody can join the show. You can just StreamYard call in. I put the link out. Everybody will be able to call in and be on screen and be on the show. And these panel shows, I don't do them very much because sometimes they're great and sometimes they're a fucking dumpster fire like you wouldn't believe and everything. One time some guy got drunk and fell over. Like he literally passed out on stream. And Spooky's going to get some beers. I will too. And we're going to call it the Drunk Stream Panel Show. No, maybe not, Spooky, given current events. Don't put it on the thumbnail. And I want to thank everybody who's been very supportive about the recent attack on my family by a fake psychic grifter, resulting in government agencies, one at least, opening an investigation into myself and my family. But that situation has more or less resolved itself. And that government agency has been made fully aware that this fake psychic has tried to weaponize their agency or similar agencies against anybody that says anything on the internet about her she doesn't like. So in other words, she's trying to weaponize government agencies against her online critics. She tried to silence me as a journalist. It didn't work. She hit me with the most heinous attack she could possibly hit me with, basically accusing me of neglecting my children. And, you know, when these people get a complaint or a report like that, they're obligated to investigate. But, you know, we made it through. And, you know, I can tell you that there will be consequences for the person that did that. And that's all I will say, because this is in the hands of lawyers right now. But I will not be threatened or intimidated into silence. And a scammer or a grifter that we expose and prove is a scammer and a grifter doesn't have the right to stop my free speech. That's a very basic principle that I believe in. So, yeah, we have done our due diligence. Now I got to figure something out here. Oop. Yeah, speak about figure something out. I am still kind of a mess with these media assets, because I used to know exactly where everything was here, but it's been years. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Well, it may be. Okay, one moment here. I'm gonna have to do something. That webcam keeps tearing. Yeah, so we've done our due diligence. I'm going to bounce on out of here, but I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No place I would rather be. I hope you will be here with me. But for now, that's all I got for you. So good night, and God bless all of you.